Boy golly, I haven't streamed in so long. It's always weird starting back up again after having to take a break for a while. But yeah. Anywho, so let me do the ritual of trying to find myself on my Chanel. Nope, nothing yet. There I am! Okay. Nice. Alright, so just get everything is all booted up. Pause the music for like just a hot second. Click on my own stream. Mute myself before I can hear my own echo. Yeah. Okay. Seems all nice and dandy. Let's see, what else shall we do? Let me turn the music back on. Okay, I turned it on to loop. Nice. Alright. Yeah, it's been a while. I had my anniversary stream and it was like, cool! I've been a VTuber for a year! Everything is everything is on the up and up for me. And then lo and behold, I got horribly sick. And it's been terrible ever since. So yeah, let me lower the music just a hot second. Oh, I accidentally muted it. Okay, I lowered it. It just seemed a bit too loud for my sensitive little ears. Oh, Night Fury is saying hello. Hello! Hello, Night Fury. How are you doing? And TJ's come up to say hi too, even though she should not be on the desk, but here she is. Because she's a cat. But yeah, so, get a cough drop or two. Yeah, I just realized I don't have any cough drops by my desk, so I'm just gonna skadoodle and grab a handful of cough drops when I can. But yeah, so after my anniversary stream, it was just like, cool, that went well. And it's like, oh my god, I had so much fun, and I drew stuff, and I yapped, and yeah. But yeah, then I got horribly sick, and it was terrible. And then it culminated in me going to the emergency room, which I think, just because of my past with hospitals and being sick and taking care of sick loved ones, I think I'm actually, like, very uncannily calm in hospital settings. Like, I know that the emergency room especially can freak some people out and make people nervous, but, like, for me, it was just like, okay, I'm nice and calm. You know, I'm in the emergency room. They're gonna... Oh my goodness, Cat, what are you doing? Get down, I'm telling a story. Please. No, no, please. You knocked over the monitor once already. Oh, goodness, Cat. Anyway, yeah, so... It's interrupted by Cat. But yeah, so... Like, the emergency room itself was not very scary for me. It was actually pretty calming, and I took, like, the best nap I've ever had in the emergency room. What do I mean by the best nap I've ever had? Well, apparently, according to the time, I slept for, like, 2 hours. It felt like I slept for 12. Because they were running some tests on me, and they finally kind of booted me into a little corner of the emergency room, put me on a gurney. And while they're waiting for my test results, I'm in this little corner by myself, and it's like, oh, they're not escorting me out to, like, the seating area again? Okay, cool. And I fell asleep. That was pretty cool. So, oh my goodness, Cat, no. Stop it, stop! No, get down! Goodness, Cat, do you not want me to stream tonight? Is that why you're misbehaving all of a sudden? Goodness, you are trying to do overtime, Cat. Come on, get over here. Either you come on my lap or you get down. What is wrong with you? Don't knock over the monitor. It's gonna be expensive to replace. Anyway, yeah. So, I don't know how I got sick. But yeah, so there's one issue that they solved and could diagnose. There's another issue that may or may not be ongoing that they don't know what it is yet. So that sucks. The reason the reason I am, like, coughing so much and how I got horribly sick is because I guess I just got, like, a terrible case of bronchitis. So, yeah, that affected my voice. There were times where I coughed so bad I couldn't speak, and like, if any of you have seen the movie Spirited Away, you know the character of No Face, who just kind of like talks in like little grunts and like little moans and other noises, like like I was literally, some days I was just making no face noises, and that was the only way I could speak. But I'm actually a lot better now. Despite the coughing. I don't really know how long it's gonna keep lasting. I've never had bronchitis before. It sucks, but at least they gave me medicine for it. And yeah, so that's cool. But the other scary thing, which is how I ended up in the ER, they don't know what it is yet. So that part is scary, because it could theoretically happen again at any time. And then it's like, you don't really want bad things to happen to you health-wise, but then when no one really knows what it is and can't give it a proper diagnosis yet, you almost kind of like wish it's like, well dang, I wish I had like the big scary things that people know the names of, so at least that way they can treat it appropriately and give me treatment for it. But if they don't know what it is, then they don't know what it is. So it's yeah, living in a real-life case of mystery diagnosis is not fun. I do not recommend it. But I'm alive. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I wanted to stream for a while. Even if my voice is might be a bit unstable for a while, just because of one, the coughing, and two, this experience has changed my voice a little bit, I think. And yeah, it's gonna be awkward for a little bit in terms of my ability to speak. There might even be times where I have to pause stream and take like my medicine and all that, but other than that, I'm a lot better than I have been over the course of the month of April. So yeah, so like the version of my voice you were hearing now is like the best I've been for a while, to be totally honest. So it could be a lot worse. I could just be imagine you just like turn on the stream and it's just, instead of me talking like this and speaking relatively normally despite the coughing, it's just and like it's just making no face noises all over the place. So yeah, like at least I'm able to talk, and talking does not cause me pain at the moment, which is nice, because before talking was extremely painful. And yeah, so yeah, here I am. Yeah. Like I even wrote in the description, it's like, you know, I wanted to stream for a while, but then also being sick is horrible and lonely and boring, and yeah. So it's like, streaming is like kind of therapeutic for me. It's like my own little form of therapy for fun, for emotional regulation, and also just my attempt at socializing at my own pace. Because it's not like real, like, in-person socializing where it's like, okay, I can either stick around or leave. It's like, okay, I have barriers in place that I can enforce. That's pretty cool. And I can turn it on and turn it off whenever I want. So yeah, I wanted to stream just because, like, okay, this might be the closest thing to socialization I can get, at times. And, and it was also really annoying and honestly kind of emotionally painful to be in a Discord call with my friends, but then I could barely talk, or I would just be making, like, no face noises. And yeah, that was painful. But, like, oh my god, I can talk relatively okay again without coughing as much as before. Because, like, the last time I was gonna call my friends, I could barely talk for long stretches of time, so I was just playing piano in our group call, and it was really cool. But it's like, you don't want that to be, like, a normal thing. So, like, now that I can't actually speak without coughing my lungs out, like, every 5 seconds, and now that my voice is a little bit more stable, it's like, oh my god, I can talk again. Let me celebrate by doing something that I love, which is streaming, which is a way to not only socialize with my friends, but also wonderful strangers on the internet. So yeah, I guess this is the start of the sick arc. Yeah, again, it could be worse. Like, this is the best my voice has been in a while, and I'm gonna try not to push myself I might accidentally go a little bit too far and push myself because I'm having too much fun, but not yet. That's not intentional. And I also have my medication close by. I have a gallon of water a short distance away, and I could go grab myself a handful of cough drops, which I might do just in case. And hopefully you don't enjoy. Hopefully you don't mind the occasional like cough drop dropping in the event that I'm consuming cough drops. But yeah, so what are we doing? Well, because being sick is so horrible and boring and lonely, what you end up doing a lot of the time is when you're not asleep for hours and hours and hours on end, or awake for hours and hours and hours on end, is that you get, like, really bored and you just start going down, like, media rabbit holes or just getting invested in things you really like, after coming out of the emergency room, I had really horrible insomnia, so I would just wake up at really strange hours and go to bed at even weirder hours. So, because no one was awake, because I couldn't talk to anybody, and because I didn't really know how long I would end up staying up, I would just play The Sims by myself until I was tired, and then I would sleep. Or, you know, I would just, like, scroll through Tumblr and just look up fandom stuff that I like until I was tired, and then I would go to sleep. Or I would play other games until I was tired and I would go to sleep. But in the process of that, I also just kind of started, like, working on a couple projects as well. And it was also like, okay, well, I could work on these in private, but what if I stream them? Yeah. And so I came up with the idea of, like, okay, I'm gonna select a couple projects that I don't mind showing off publicly, and then we could work on them together on stream. And that'll be fun. That'll be a way to not only be productive on my end, but also to socialize. And yeah, cool stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, here I am. Yeah, it's been a while. So I'm out of my element. I'm coughing like crazy every so often. I got my ahoge all wrong in the thumbnail art, so that's cool. It looks like I have a banana. It looks like I have a banana ahoge. I drew myself totally off model, but it's fine. Okay. I've gotten into Epic the musical lately. It was a big inspiration for me to get back into video editing. I have never heard of Epic. Is it that, like that CG film with, like, I think it's supposed to be like fairies or like bug people? I think I've heard of that before. Like, the name Epic does sound familiar, but I don't know what that could be a lot of things too. Because, like, I also associate the word epic with, like a line of, like, health and wellness equipment as well. I guess that also shows, I guess that particular association shows how much I've been in hospitals over the course of my life. It's a musical audio story of the original Odyssey. Oh, it's a musical audio story of the Odyssey. Huh, I've never actually read Greek mythology and, like, Greek literature. Like, I totally skipped that unit in school. And I was also just obsessed with Norse mythology as a kid, so I never was into Greek mythology, and school never forced me to do it, so yeah. Yeah, so, I'm gonna go grab those cough drops, actually, and put my water closer to my, my desk. So I'll skadoodle for like 2 seconds, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm alive again, and I have a pocket full of cough drops, and I have 2 beverage options, so that'd be pretty cool. Um, I should also... I gotta remember to take my antibiotics later. But it's okay, I'll do that later, because I don't want to vomit up pills on stream. Oh yeah, that's kind of another interesting thing about me being sick this time, is that, they gave me pills in the emergency room. They gave me pills that they thought would help for the cough originally, because they thought, like, oh, what if you have this cough due to allergies? And I'm like, well, yeah, my emotional support animal has been shedding a lot more than usual recently, and, you know, it's springtime, so maybe that could be the reason, but also I don't know, because I've had this cough for a while. Can you help me? Um... So they gave me allergy medication. Thankfully, the pills were extremely tiny, so I was able to swallow them no problem, because normally I vomit when trying to swallow pills. But then the antibiotics they gave me for once my doctor diagnosed me with bronchitis, it's a much bigger pill. Thankfully, I've been able to take it. I'm basically the the joke that has been circling around my friends group whenever I mention pills and medication is whenever I have to swallow pills, I'm just that meme of Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob's like, I hate the pill. Yeah, I'm not very good at taking medication that isn't in liquid form. And, like, there are even some medications where I've been prescribed them and I've just found a way to take them that doesn't involve swallowing, like, the actual pill itself. Like, if you have kidney issues, or particularly kidney stones, you might be familiar with a medicine called Flomax, where it somehow, some way, through the power of science and drugs, tries to help you, like, pass kidney stones naturally without resorting to surgery. And it is a capsule, but it's got little pellets inside. So what I would do is just, I would pop open the capsule, have a mouthful of water, and then just down all the little pellets like a shot, and then just try to swallow all the little pellets with the water. So that's how I would take that particular medication. Because I could not swallow the capsule pills itself. I don't know. I just can't take my medication properly. And, but I think it's also kind of given me a weird resistance to pain. Like, because I can't swallow pills, I can't really take a lot of the adult versions of medication. So even with things like painkillers, I take, like, children's painkillers, which is a significantly lower dose than the adult version. So sometimes, like, I don't know what the exact dosage is for a lot of adult medication, but because the child dosage is much smaller, like, where normally you would need to take, like, 1 or 2 versions of, like, the big girl medication, I'll just, like, take either 1 tablet or, like, a half a tablet of, like, children's medication. and all that, or, like, if it's a liquid medication, it's like, okay, basically you just treat it like a shot of alcohol. And, you know, that's how you get better. It even comes with the measuring cup, so there's your medicine shot glass right there. So, yeah, fun. I know a surprising amount of, like, medical stuff just based on personal life experience. Can you believe I almost can you believe that I wanted to be a nurse at one point? Yeah, I no longer have the heart or the stomach to be a nurse, but yeah, I guess it helps sometimes being knowledgeable about, like, weird medication and, like, other health stuff. You could be your own nurse sometimes. But any hoozle, what are we doing today? Well, while I was sick and I was just kind of down and out, I got really into Danganronpa again. Henry recently, like, was kind of shocked because I knew the Devil May Cry anime that came out in the mid 2000s, and I kind of, like, replied to him as, like, and I also just kind of came to the epiphany of, like, yeah, I'm kind of like a fandom chameleon. Like, I have a lot of fandoms, but I'm not particularly passionate about, like, any singular one at the same time. For, like, a long period of time. I mean, I just kind of go through my little fandoms and phases. So now I'm just kind of going through a Danganronpa phase again. And I feel young again, and it's wonderful. So I would just absorb all this Danganronpa content on Tumblr. And I found something that I thought would be fun to dub. So I'm gonna pause the music real quick, and we're gonna do something a little bit new. So, okay, let me make sure everything is, hold on for a hot second. put the sensor screen up for just 2 seconds. It should be fine, but I just want to make sure. Oh wait, it just occurred to me that you won't be that I won't be able to see it either. Okay, well, here we go. Alright, so, I stumbled across a Tumblr account, that's just full of all these Danganronpa edits, where basically they just put a bunch of incorrect quotes, and it's hilarious. I recorded this a while back, actually, so this was before my voice disappeared. But in the process of being sick, I've actually collected more of these, so I'm hoping to dub more of these in the future. So I guess here's a sneak preview of stuff to come. I've turned off the music for this clip because, as you can see in the corner, it indicates what song is playing in the game, and it indicates that, New World Order is playing. I don't know if Danganronpa music will trigger copyright or anything. I don't know how Spike Chunsoft handles people using music from their games. So I muted that in the clip that I'm about to show you that I dubbed a while back. So here we go. The actual context of this one that I found is a lot longer. I reblogged it on Tumblr, but I can't convincingly sound like a man. So I just dubbed the 2 girls in this scene, so here's what that sounds like.
Hinata is the seme, so it's Hinakoma. The frail one being the seme is the whole appeal! It's Komehira, you swine!
So yeah, that was my attempt at voicing Tsubuki Shirogane, and, goodness, they call her so many different things. So in the English version, they localize her name as Genocide Jill. But I'm used to the Japanese version where they call her, like, Genocide or Sho. So I'm used to calling her Sho. But yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. I should consume cough drop. But yeah, so that's, me attempting to step into the world of dubbing Danganronpa stuff. Yeah, so I was thinking to myself, okay, this was fun to dub. I already recorded it. It was just two characters saying, like, 1 or 2 things each. So, you know, pretty easy to dub. And then I thought to myself, well, I always do, like, a little drawing for, like, the credits of these little things that I do. So I thought to myself, like, okay, well, why don't I draw, like, my little drawings for the credits that I do on stream? Because to show you another example, so this was my dub of a little goody two-shoes, Felice comic that I found on Tumblr. And, oh my god, the artist was, like, so nice and just so happy that it was, like, I asked, like, permission to dub, please? And they were like, yes! So I did it. And then in the credits, I have this cute little drawing here. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to, like, okay, well, this has also been a thing in, like, let me find it. No, it's not here. Okay, no, I don't have the file on the ready to show off on stream. But, yeah. So I've just kind of developed a little habit of, like, okay, I want to put something in the credits so it's not boring. So, yeah, I thought it could be fun to stream myself drawing the little doodles that I do at the end of the credits. Alright, so let's get Studio Paint back up. Oh, I should turn the music back on. Funny enough, I caught it toward the end of the loop. Any hoozles. Alrighty then. So, new page. And I had an idea for this particular one. Because it involves Fukawa and Shirogane, I thought of drawing them both, and then maybe just, like, me in the middle. So, what I also have to do is I have to get references for these two, so let me go on the Danganronpa wiki real quick and grab a sprite for each of them. So, thankfully the Danganronpa wiki actually has pages dedicated to all of the sprites, which is really useful. And funnily enough, like, Danganronpa actually influenced a lot of my normal art style that I have, especially in terms of how I draw eyes. So without Danganronpa, my art style would not be what it is today. Alright, so I have a Tsumugi. Wait, is her name not Fukawa? Toko? Yeah. Yeah, her name is Fukawa. Why did it not give me the result the first time? You'll also like notice a difference between like the Danganronpa 1 and the V3 sprites is that because V3 was coming out on PC as well as the other modern consoles at the time, where the first game so the first game was PSP, then it went to PS Vita and the other modern consoles of the time. And then V3 was the first one to be on PC natively. I think that's how the story goes. I'm not really sure because I never had a PSP. But yeah, so like the V3 sprites were like a lot higher resolution than the previous game's sprites. Like I know that. It's just really interesting. And of the Danganronpa games, V3 is my favorite. For a lot of reasons. But I want to stream the game, so I can't get into a lot of those reasons, because I don't want to spoil anything. You know how hard it is to want to talk about V3, but it's like, I want to stream this game in the future. I can't talk about it too much, because then I'll end up spoiling it for everybody. And not everyone is like me. Not everyone likes spoilers ahead of time. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. And I almost dropped my tablet. It's fun. Thankfully, I have my tablet pen. It is not on vacation without me. Actually, let's put Fukawa to the side over here. Shrink down Tsumugi just a little bit. Because I just want the colors for each of them for the most part. Let's grab that. And her uniform's actually pretty dark. It's not going to show up on black too well. But we could try to lighten that. Alright, so we got their colors. Let's see, I think I'm gonna try drawing Tsumugi first, because Tsumugi is my favorite. Yep. Alright, so how do we plan this out? I'm just gonna try drawing over here. Let's see if the sickness has affected my drawing abilities whatsoever. It's been a while. Alright, that looks pretty good. Although I do love the juxtaposition of like, I'm drawing the body like I would normally draw bodies in my normal art style, but the head is like in my little chibi doodle-ish art style. So that's the equivalent of like, ah yes, having like a hyper-realistic feminine form and then the head is just a circle. It's like, ah. Try doing the same for Fukawa, which is going to be difficult because I struggle drawing flat-chested women. Let me see if the heads are about the same size. Whoops. Move this for a second. Compare. Okay, it's about the same size. Nice. But yeah, this is actually pretty calming. Like, I don't normally draw in front of an audience anymore. I used to. I used to in calls with friends, but honestly, that kind of stopped after a while. But doing it on stream is very nice. Although it's a little kind of weird that I think about it, because like drawing in a call with like one other person is one thing. You just kind of get that social pressure from one person. So theoretically, drawing on stream should be a lot scarier, a lot more nerve-wracking, but I actually have kind of like the reverse, where it's like, I think I'd rather be drawing on stream than drawing in front of like a singular other person. It's a bit strange. It's like reverse stage fright. Alright. How do I draw boobs that aren't gigantic? Because like, she's not totally péton, she's not totally flat as a pancake, but she's like, she's got smaller. She's got a much smaller bust. But like, that's like one of my weaknesses with drawing women. It's like, I struggle to draw women that are flatter. And then she's pretty thin, although because the uniform is so dark, it's blending into the black background. And if you're wondering why I'm using a black background, it's because the credits screen in Vegas, like the default background in Vegas is black, so I use a black canvas in Clip Studio Paint, and then I just get rid of the black. I get rid of the black background, I get rid of the paper, and then I just use it as a transparent image in the end. She's pretty rectangular. But that could also just be the uniform. Like with Tamuki, I think she has like some more hips on her. She's got hips, but she's not thick. But I don't know if she's like an hourglass. Or she might have an hourglass. She's pretty tall and she's a cosplayer, so you kind of need a slim figure to get the kind of thing that she has, where she has like sponsorships and stuff. Swishier the head, the tinier the brain. Wait, let me finish up Fukawa's figure over here. And let me erase. And then I'll put myself on a different layer. Although let me get one of my sprites so that I can get the exact shade of royal blue that I have. There we go. I do love royal blue. It's a beautiful color. Difficult to coordinate, but when you can coordinate it with an outfit really well, it's very rewarding. See my hair color. Will that show up well? Okay, it shows up well in the black, actually. I was debating making my hair blue. Well, I guess it's... my hair also has, like, purple undertones to it, so... Let's see, Tsumugi's 5'9". How tall is Fukawa? Because yes, even in my doodly art style, I'm very anal about scale. That's also kind of the fun thing. So when I was testing out the Danganronpa V3 demo, because that was the only Danganronpa game on Steam that actually had a demo to play. Because I was debating getting it, and I'm like, okay, Danganronpa 1 has no demo. Danganronpa 2 has no demo. Oh, V3 has a demo, and V3 happens to be my favorite, so, yeah. I played the V3 demo, and in the game itself, it has character information, like their blood type, their height, their weight, etc., etc. So Tsumugi's really tall. She's 5'9". It's like, hot damn, she big. And my husbando, my favorite character, my hope, my joy, my passion, Kibo, he is 5'3". He's not very tall. He's barely taller than me. But my goodness, that's an adorable height. That is head pat height right there. But yeah, it also explains all the fan art that I see of Kibo. It's like, huh, wait, is he supposed to be shorter than everyone else? So yeah, he's surprisingly pretty short. And it's adorable. So let me see how tall... Oh, Fukawa's my height! Fukawa is shorter than I expected. Okay, that's cool. Alright, so I should put Fukawa down just a little bit. Okay, so she's pretty short, so Tsumugi's 5'9". So, goodness, that's tiny. So she'd be like here, I think. Let me raise her up a little bit, because then I'm gonna get lost in the sauce and lose the figure. Alright. But yeah, I'm kind of crazy when it comes to scaling, especially, like, for me at least. I know it's just because I draw in many art styles. So, like, when you draw in a lot of different art styles, sometimes on the same page, it's like, okay, well, how do I scale everything to make everything look like it looks... How do I scale everything to make it look like it belongs together? Because, like a big problem that Sonic 06 had, which I think is what turned a lot of people off, not just because they were trying to sell us on Sonalise as a ship, without the character development and story and bonding to back it up, but also because you have very realistically proportioned humans with the Toonie furries, that are the Sonic characters. So, just due to scaling, they look very weird, on top of just the art style mishmash, where you have very realistic humans, but then you have Toonie furries. And those are two very different art styles. So, yeah. I guess because I've just learned to draw, like a lot of different art styles and different creatures, it's just, okay, how do I make everything look good together? Like, for example... very crude. I normally have a draw, but this is just an example. It's like, let's say this is me. Let's say this is me. I am to scale, you know, I am just my height. And, you know, I'm like, let's just round me up to 5'3", or like 5 feet. I'm pretty short. And, you know, I'm realistically human proportioned. If I'm drawing myself next to a Sonic or a Toonie Furry of some variety in that Sonic art style, then realistically Sonic's height would be about here, around my navel. But then, you have the problem of the Toonie Furry proportions when it comes to Mobians or, you know, the Toonie Furries in Sonic's world, where they're a lot of leg. They're more leg and arm than torso. So what you'll see a lot of artists do who draw up like humans and Mobian slash Sonic Toonie Furries in the same on the same page, you know, try to unify the art styles, is that the proportions of the Sonic characters might change, or you might give them more of a torso. You might shorten the arms and make the hands less huge, so that way they look good alongside human hands. Because realistically speaking, like, with the normal proportions, Sonic has, like, some giant grippers. So, like, theoretically, just snap a human arm. Snap a human arm off without even trying. Yeah. And then with my other art style, the other way that I draw furries, or rather the only other style of furries that I can do, is like the Dust style of furries, where it's very humanoid proportions. So Dust is actually pretty easy to draw if you already know how to draw humans and you want to try to get into drawing furries. And those are very humanoid proportions, so it looks good next to a human, right? Because it's basically just human anatomy. And, you know, pretty standard human measurements. But with animal features, you have a muzzle. Oh yeah, can't draw Dust without the stupid head. So yeah. That's part of why I'm just such a stickler for scaling. It's just because I just know how to draw in different art styles. And then it's also just kind of like, you know how in Steven Universe one of the running jokes was that because the art style kept changing, characters' proportions and heights kept changing? I think Rebecca Sugar tried to justify it as like, oh, well, the heights are like always in flux because it represents like character relationships and personal development. But then it's also just a matter of like Cartoon Network was trying to kill the show so many times that the animation probably just changed hands a bajillion times. That's why everyone always looks off model and it changes from season to season. Okay, Zach the Robinson came to stop by for a few minutes before I go to bed. How are you doing and how's the drawing going? Well, I'm currently eating a cough drop. So I have a cough drop in the corner of my mouth. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better than I have been. Like, at least I can talk relatively normally. And I can actually talk for long stretches of time without having a cough, which is nice. It's a big improvement. Like, this is the most normal I've been able to sound for a while now. So that's been fun. But yeah, so I'm just drawing, like, the doodles that I do for the credits of, my little dubs and other things. And yeah, kind of got distracted by the talk of scaling. But yeah. Again, it's just like, I wouldn't say I'm like an art savant, but I just like art and I like certain things about art, and it's, yeah. I guess that's where my passion shows. Because, like, I do want them to be proportional in terms of height. Although, like, so they actually... So let me actually show you what it says, like, in the credits of, the thing that I'm trying to draw for. So, like, in the credits, I like being cheeky in the credits, too. I don't just like putting the actual, like, factual credits. As important as those are, I like being cheeky. I'm very talkative once you get to know me. So, because they're arguing over whether the pairing of Hajime Hinata and Nagito Komaeda is called Hinakoma or Koma Hina. I just put it like, well, I grew up calling it Koma Hina, so... And that's where I had the idea, because I put the credits like smack in the middle over here. I have me being cheeky up above, so I thought like, okay, Tsumugi on one side, Fukawa on one side, and then me in the middle, just like, this is awkward. So that's where the idea came from, and that's what I wanted to do. So like, because I'm already in the middle, I'm the shortest out of these three, in terms of like their official heights and my actual height. But because they're arguing over yaoi and yaoi ship names, it's like, So then the question is, do I draw myself even shorter? But then if that's the case, I would have to raise the drawing up. And as it is, now that I actually look at, you know, Vegas, I might just have to separate the drawing into threes and just make the background transparent and then just do each of them separately. Which is why they are on... Okay, well, Fukawa and Shirogane are on the same layer, but at least I'm on a different layer, so... yeah. Yeah, that's also funny. It's like, why do I always find myself in fandoms where the shipping is always a major component? Because shipping in Sonic is like a major thing that could, yeah. And then Danganronpa shipping is something else. Like, holy shit, there are so many Danganronpa characters. And, yeah. So yeah, I grew up calling it, Koma Hina. And there, I think that Nagito and Hajime are like a pretty basic ship. I think a lot of people ship them in terms of just like the shipping scene of Danganronpa. And it also just has some basis in canon too, so, you know, that's another reason why it works. You know, like why, you know, people like the ship. Shave off some of the shoulders over here. Actually, you know what I'll do? Because I'm in Clip Studio Paint, and I keep hopping back and forth between different softwares, let me actually... I should have known this earlier. I should have just opened up chat on my phone. I'm still here, just quiet, says Knife Hero. It is okay. It's okay, I do not mind. Like, everyone's different levels of talkative on different days. Like, this is the most talkative I've been in a while, and I'm surprised that I'm, like, not coughing up a storm. Like, it's like, oh my god, I'm getting cured! Alright, might hear a little bit of noise, but that's because I'm opening up the... Wait, can I lower it? Okay, nice. Unless I accidentally just turned off my ringtone. Okay, no. Perfect. And Dr. Robert saying, shipping is certainly something I've never been super hardcore about. Yeah, it's not for everybody. But yeah, like, I know shipping is big in Sonic, shipping is big in Danganronpa. I don't think shipping is big in Umineko. Thankfully. But yeah. But yeah, like, I have many memories of being a Danganronpa fan when I was little. Well, not like little. I wasn't a child when I engaged with Danganronpa for the first time, but yeah, I was younger than I am now, and that feels so far away. And now you're there saying, shipping is making everything, especially if it's gay. Oh yeah, something fun that I learned about Little Goody Two Little Goody Two Shoes. So the pairings in Little Goody Two Shoes. Did you know that the ship, with all 4 girls in Little Goody Two Shoes being Elise, Rosenmarine, Lebkuchen, and Freya, you know one name for shipping all of them together? It's called the Kiefercule. It's the Kieferberg polycule. Kiefercule. I just thought that was like the most adorable ship name ever. It's like, yes, all these beautiful anime girls, they all need to stick together and escape this horrible little village. It's like ship the Kiefercule. It's a beautiful ship. Okay. That's just a fun shipping thing that I remembered. But yeah, in terms of Danganronpa ships, like Komahina, I think that's a basic bitch one that you're gonna find pretty easily. It's not a rare pair whatsoever. But you know what I did discover? So I have like, I think 3 main ships that I like in Danganronpa at the moment that occasionally I will just like lurk on the tag on Tumblr and then just like, yes, food. They're all Kibo pairings because I love Kibo so much, but I also love seeing Kibo with other characters. Where, so yeah, my biggest Kibo ships, are Saibo, which is, shipping him with Saihara, Kiruma, which is shipping him with Miyu Iruma, which, much like Komahina, Kiruma is also a basic bitch ship that has some, like, you know, evidence for it in canon, so that's another reason why people like it. And then, my ultimate rare pair, I think the rarest pair that I ship is Kimugi, which is pairing Kibo with Shirogane Sumugi, who is in the upper left. And I love them so much, but you know how many Kimugi posts there are on Tumblr? Do you want to know how many Kimugi posts there are on Tumblr? Well, if I type Kimugi into Tumblr, there's one that's a fanfiction link. There's another one that just has a bunch of, like, images of them together that are photoshopped together. With a banner that says Kimugi Shipper. There's 2 pieces of art. No, 3 pieces of art. Someone ranting? Someone ranting about, like, a friendship that they lost, but, you know, Kimugi was tied to that friendship. And then there are 2 posts for me! One isn't even Kimugi based. One was like, oh my god, I got gifted a Kibo pin, you know, through Throne, and like, unfortunately the artist on Etsy doesn't make a Tsumugi pin, otherwise I'd make Kimugi happen. That's not even Kimugi related, but it shows up in the results if you look up Kimugi on Tumblr. But yeah, I love Kimugi so much, but I can't talk about them. Because to talk about my love of this ship would spoil the entirety of Danganronpa V3. So, yeah, because that is a game that I want to stream at some point, I can't talk about them! And how much I love them! And how much I just want more Kimugi stuff to exist. Yeah, so that's that. How despairing is that? I can't talk about the ship that I love and want to see more of. Because it'll spoil a game that I want to stream. But yes, like, I think Kimugi is like the rarest pair that I've ever had. And yeah, I love it so much, but it's so rare. Actually, maybe I could attempt drawing Kibo on stream. I'm still learning how to draw men, but also, Kibo's extra complicated because, let me grab the sprite for you right here, right now. So like, if I start trying to draw men by drawing Kibo, he's gonna be so complicated. It's like, okay, I want to get into hiking. Let me try climbing Mount Everest. I mean, you know, that's just a thing that people do, right? Because the whole thing about Kibo hold on, let me get a complete state pane. I accidentally opened OBS. The whole thing about Kibo is that, he's a robot. And all that, it's metal plating. So on top of having to get the anatomy right and having to, like, you know, draw male torsos and things, I have to draw all the metal plating. But I love him. He's a good boy. I'm just gonna put him in the corner there for good luck, and I'm gonna make him invisible, but I'll know he's there. Whoops, I accidentally erased my shoulder. Alright, so... I always forget how to draw my hair. I draw my hair so inconsistently. Because, like, the thing about me, when it comes to drawing, I don't care what art style I'm drawing, and I love drawing, like, big, crazy hair. It's just, I love it. It's very relaxing. Sorry I'm silent. I have the cough drop, like, in the corner of my mouth. Like, part of me doesn't want to chew on it, because chewing a cough drop is just probably not a very pleasant sound to other people. And also, if you bite it, you don't have the medicine. You're just biting it. It's like chewing on ice. Like medicated ice. As a guy myself, I too have a relatively difficult time drawing men. I don't know, the proportions of women are just much easier for me to memorize. That's the other thing too, like, of course I have a bias because I am a woman. So, if I need a reference, I could just look at myself in the mirror. What the heck? Drawing tablet, what the hell? Drawing tablet got disconnected for a hot second, but we're back. Yeah, so the other thing about, like, let me get this layer open again just so I can draw on it. And just for fun, I'll do it in neon green. So, like, the thing about, like, men and women. Let's never mind the height averages here, because on average, women do tend to be shorter than men, but, you know, we're not focusing on that for this example. So with women, you have more defined hips and a defined waist normally. Like, even a woman who's somewhat chubby might actually have, like, a natural hourglass shape under some of the chub. But then, boobs are really easy because boobs, they're just teardrop shapes attached to the chesticles. Attached to the torso, I mean. And, yeah, that's generally how I draw the basic outline of a woman. With men, though, men can get more complicated, because men do come in other shapes, but they don't have the fun teardrop shapes that make them easy to remember. I have to learn how to draw. Because another way that I draw, I don't know if it was very obvious from drawing these bodies here, but what I usually do is like, okay, well, you know, start with the head, draw a neck, draw some shoulders, draw like a stomach area, and then from the shoulders, kind of like the straps of a tank top, then that's how you try to get, you know, the chesticle shapes. You just, like drawing tank top straps. You just go down and around. And that kind of thing. So that's how I draw boobs. But with men, you don't have that. With men, you have, you know, man boobs. But they don't do it from the tank top. They don't, you know, you can't really do the tank top method with guys. So if you want to draw like a really buff dude, and something I've learned about men, how I'm trying to learn how to draw men is that you have like trapezoid shapes. You have like two trapezoids. So it's kind of like an hourglass figure, but a little bit more exaggerated on the sides. So it's like two trapezoids. And then, you know, legs. But then when it comes to the pectorals, you can't do the tank top method. It's gonna look weird. So then it's like, how I try to do it is I try to connect it from like the armpit line. And then I just do it as like two little, like, unfinished rectangles. But then that also looks weird to me, but yeah, I'm just I put all my art skills into drawing women, so drawing men will always be confusing, but I'm learning, I'm trying. Although, you know, like, you know what men I can draw? I can draw femboys pretty good. So yeah, like, maybe that's my niche. I can't really draw, like, manly men, but I can draw femboys. Am I on the right layer? Okay. But yeah, I love drawing, like, big, crazy, wonderful hair, so that's part of why I never draw my hair very consistently. And fun fact, my ahoge, very fitting for Danganronpa, because all the main characters have ahoges, and I just happen to have an ahoge, haha. So, like, originally, my ahoge was gonna be small, it was just gonna be this. But then, that looked kind of boring on, like, the sprite that I have currently, so that's why it ended up getting bigger and became this. Because I thought that the small one didn't really add a lot to my overall head shape. Because something about VTuber designs is that you don't want to have helmet head if you could help it. You don't want to just have, like, let's look at Tsumugi over here. Tsumugi, get over here. Thank you. So, like, the top of her head is very round. So, like, if you were to, like, I don't know how to do it, actually. I don't know how to do it. But, like, if you were to turn her into a silhouette and, like, put her in a lineup of other characters, you're not really gonna recognize her by her hair, just based on the top of her head. So, like, you can't really pick her out in a lineup, whereas other characters, especially the characters that have very exaggerated hairstyles or who do have an ahoge in Danganronpa, are recognizable from their hair. And, like, they try to just avoid helmet head. And that's the other thing about VTuber designs, too, where it's, like, if you have a hat, or, like, some kind of headwear, or headgear, to make your silhouette more iconic, that's one thing, that's fine. But if you're just, like, you have nothing on the top of your head, and you just generally have, like, a kind of a normal hairstyle, or just, like, long hair syndrome, where the hairstyle alone is not going to look very iconic, especially if you don't add anything extra to the silhouette, it's not really going to stand out very much. So yeah, that's part of why I haven't a ahoge, is because, yeah, the small one was like, oh, it doesn't really add much to the silhouette. At least if it's bigger, it adds a little bit more to the silhouette, so you could, like, just totally, like, black out my model, but you could probably still try to find me just based on the ahoge alone. You know, that could actually be a really fun stream idea, is that if I get all the Danganronpa sprites, I can talk about character design. Because Danganronpa's character design, there's actually a very, like, wonderful logic to it, especially in the first game. It's more noticeable in the first game. Second game, I think more of the characters look good alongside each other, and in V3, I think the character designs are wonderful. They look good as a unit, like all of them together, and also apart. Yeah. But, like, the logic of designing the characters for Danganronpa 1, at least, was that all of the characters need to look distinct enough, like they come from different genres. Like, the most obvious ones, like Celestia Ludenberg is, like, Gothic Lolita. Hifumi is, you know, general fat otaku guy. Junko Enoshima is a gyaru. You know, those are just 3 examples, but, like, you know, they all have an association with them that makes them stand out from the rest of the cast, and, you know, gives them, like, an identifier. So it's like, okay, what does Junko Enoshima look like? You know, short skirt, showing off her boobs, you know, like a shortcut, top, shortcut, never mind, I don't know how to describe the top. Big hair accessories, yeah, she's a gyaru. Junko Enoshima's a gyaru, and that's what you think of when you think of Junko Enoshima. As just one example. Or like, yeah. Sorry. talking character design is a lot of fun. So that could be a fun stream one day when I can talk a little bit better. Cause yeah, there are a lot of Danganronpa characters. So yeah, we could talk about Danganronpa character designs for a very long time. Alright, that's my hair done. Alright, let's do Fukawa's. And then Fukawa's hair is braided, so I have a strategy on how I do braids. I don't do them often, because I used to find them a big pain in the ass to draw. But I have a strategy for them now, and I guess I'll share it with you. So, finish out the head over here. So her braids start like right there. Okay. So how I do braids is, there's a couple different ways to do braids. One method that I learned is to draw a heart. Draw another heart under that heart. And then you just keep drawing hearts for however long you want the braid to be. And then you just add a line through each heart. And then you finish it off like a little teardrop shape. And that's one method on how to do braids. Like another method would just be to do like ovals. And then you add like these little V shapes through them. And then depending on like how big, you know, the character's hair is supposed to be, you add more to the outside, you give it more body. And like that. So it's kind of like a bit of a more complicated method with the hearts. You know, you could end it with like a little teardrop over here. I don't really use this method anymore. I default to the hearts. This was the first way that I learned it, and then I learned the heart method, so it's like, okay, hearts make it easy. And then, obviously for different hair types, I think you could do with boxes too, but I don't know how to do this method. So yeah, for me, it's just a series of hearts. We're gonna do her hair over her body, because it's probably gonna get covered up by her arms anyway. Because her braids are behind her, so... Actually, no, hold on, let me redo everything. Let me give them a little bit more of a flow. There we go, okay. It's a bit truer sprite. Oh, and I started crunching the cough drop. So some slight unintentional cough drop crunching ASMR. Oh, those are awful. hurts. Because her hair's... like, her braid knots are pretty tight. Like, if I was drawing Maki with braids, that'd be... Yeah, she'd have... I could picture Maki with, like, braided hair, but, like, she'd have, like, bigger, like, looser knots. And therefore bigger hearts. So for Fukawa, I should draw them smaller. I think the being so slanted is what's distracting me. Alright, so less exaggerated. But still kind of off to the side, like in the sprite. There we go, now it's starting to come together. Although using the heart method on Fukawa is also pretty fitting because she is a very lovelorn character. Ironic. Yeah, like, when it comes to Fukawa and love, it's, you know, in another universe, Toko could have very much had a backstory, like something at a strange circus. Because my goodness, Toko is just tragic and sad and depressing. But I love her. I just want her to be happy. Like, my goodness, I want this girl to be happy. Like, it's kind of like a case of like, okay, I see a little bit of her in myself. And that's why I want her to be happy, but also just... the universe just hates this girl so much. Like, the boy she likes doesn't like her back. The current boy... no, all of the boys that she liked never liked her back. The current boy that she likes only uses her as a tool. And she's so used to rejection that she's kind of into him, like, not treating her well. And it's like, no, honey, you deserve so much better. And then in Ultra Despair Girls, which is not a normal Danganronpa game, one, it's a spin-off game. Two, it's got first-person shooter elements. And three, the story in Ultra Despair Girls is it's definitely a story, and it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And the game was very controversial when it came out. And some elements of the story are still controversial to this day. But it exists. But yeah, so in that game, it stars a different protagonist, from the other protagonists we'd seen in Danganronpa. In the form of a girl named Komaru. And Komaru is just sunshine and hope and, you know, a decent human being. And she interacts with, Toko Fukawa over here. And it's like, oh my god! Toko, you have a friend! You have a friend that doesn't treat you like shit! And, yeah. So a lot of Toko's arc in Ultra Despair Girls is like, oh my god, someone's not treating me like shit? Someone's being nice to me? What is this? And it's like, I want her to be happy. I want her to find love with someone who doesn't treat her like garbage. I want her to have a healthy relationship with, you know, just everybody. The one Danganronpa game that's dark even for the franchise's standards. Yeah. Ultra Despair Girls is pretty dark. The title does not lie. There are girls in the game. My goodness, they go through a lot of despair. I think the biggest one, that makes Danganronpa Ultra Spare Girls really uncomfortable for people is that there's one boss battle that involves the main character, Komaru, like, being groped by robot hands. And there's also one character's backstory. Her name is Kotoko. I believe her name is Kotoko. She's a little girl with, like, a demon horn headband. I would adopt Kotoko if I had the chance. She is precious. I do not want any harm to come to that child. But unfortunately, her backstory... Well, if you've read Jeanette McCurdy's I'm Glad My Mom Died. Yeah, you might already know what Kotoko's backstory is. So it's just, yeah, they go through a lot of despair. But yeah, it's, I've never... but yeah, like the one good thing about the franchise now is that like all of it's available on PC, which is cool because before the game was stuck on the PS Vita and the PlayStation Portable, and you know now they're on PC, which is really cool. So they're a lot more accessible now. Yes, kitty, what do you want? Hi. Just redo the hair. And also I erased her shoulders, so I gotta give her a new shoulder. I'm trying to have them be even. 3, 4. What is it, cat? What? What is it? You want to go up here? Yeah, get on the chair, it's fine. Oh, sorry. I accidentally bumped your pretty little head in a plastic bag that I tied to the desk to use as a trash can. I'm so sorry. At least it wasn't full. It's literally just a plastic bag. It's empty. But yeah, you can hang out on the chair. It's fine. You just cannot be on the desk because you almost knocked over the monitor twice now. So that's fun. I'd appreciate if you didn't do that. But yeah, you're a good kitty when you want to be. So please be good, okay? Because I love you and I don't want you to break the computer. And like, you gotta be like Dusty. Dusty's in a corner just all by her lonesome, and she's very quiet and very well behaved and well mannered, and she doesn't try to knock over the monitor. She almost did once, but that was an accident. She was just doing parkour at 4 in the morning. Where's my pen? There's my pen, okay. But yeah, like, Danganronpa is definitely one of those franchises that for a long time I was just in it for the story. And V3 is my favorite, so that's part of why V3 is the only game that I own in the franchise on Steam. Because, honestly, V3 was the only one I was interested in playing in the first place. Like, will I play the others in the future? You know, maybe, but I like V3 the best, so that's why I'm prioritizing V3. And, V3 is also, like, the least annoying in terms of gameplay. Like, the first and second games, kind of annoying, because so the thing about Danganronpa is that it's basically a visual novel. Like, if you've played Ace Attorney, you know, you're probably going to be familiar with the Danganronpa playstyle. But it also throws minigames at you, then the minigames don't really need to be there, but they're there to try to keep you engaged. And the minigames in V3 are the least annoying. Oh my god, cat, no, get your paws off of the monitor. Please stop, stop. Stop it. Get some help. Please back it up. Please. You were on the chair. You were fine on the chair. I don't know why you were trying to knock over the monitor. Please. I do not know what's up with this cat lately. Alright, back to trying to draw braids. Okay, they might be a little bit uneven, but whatever, we're toward the end of the braid. Finally. And it's the annoying thing about long braids is that, oh boy, they take forever. Alright, this is about as good as I can get it for at the moment. Alright, and Tsumugi's hair is gonna be the simplest. Oh wait, I forgot I put it on the same layer as Fukawa. The really good thing that I find about Tsumugi is that I'm always so used to drawing characters with bangs that the fact that she doesn't really have bangs is weird to me. Like, if you were to adapt her hairstyle to like an actual wig, I guess she'd technically be like a lace front wig. She'd have like a hairstyle that would require like a lace front wig. What's a lace front? It's a bangless wig. What you're supposed to do is that it comes with like a little film of lace in the front of the wig. What you're supposed to do is use that to like adjust the wig's fit on your head and then just try to tuck the lace away. And I think you're supposed to secure it with like glue on your scalp. Or like, yeah. I don't know. I've never used a lace front wig before. I mainly just get wigs with bangs to hide my giant forehead. So like the one wig that I have in my wig collection that I got with the intention of like, oh, cosplaying Tsumugi one day would be nice. It has bangs on it. Which makes it inaccurate to the character, which Tsumugi in universe would probably be very mad about, but yeah. I just like bangs on wigs, because it's probably because I can't have bangs with my normal hair, but yeah. It's like wearing wigs is like the closest I get to having actual bangs. Because whenever I try to actually get actual bangs, they always get messed up in some way, shape, or form. It's just like, I give up. I give up on having bangs. Yeah, thankfully her hair is very simple, so it's a nice break from all the hearts that I had to draw for the braids. But yeah, like her actual hair is like a mile long. It's so long. So like the wig that I got for Tsumugi is much shorter. It used to be long, but I had to actually cut it because it got damaged at the end, so I was like, welp, I can't fix this at my current cosplaying level, so just gonna have to trim it. So I trimmed it. It's a much more manageable length, but it's no longer totally accurate to the character. Which again, in universe, Tsumugi would be so totally upset about. But it's okay, I can capture the spirit of Tsumugi with my voice, or at least I could try to. Yeah. Like, one thing I will say about Danganronpa is, like, at least in the English dub, when I was playing the demo, prior to, I think prior to 2023, that's when I got back on Tumblr after years of not being on Tumblr, and I was like, how do I use Tumblr? Oh yeah, I used to look up husbandos on Tumblr before I even knew what the term husbando was. Kibo's a husbando, let me look up Kibo. So it wasn't until 2023 that I was like, oh yeah, Danganronpa V3 got an English dub at some point. Let me look up stuff in the English dub, because prior to then, I was only familiar with the Japanese dub of the game. Like, I was in on, like, Danganronpa 3 stuff as it was released. So yeah, like I had only seen like the Japanese version of V3 before. I didn't know anything about the English dub. Samuki's English dub voice. Uh, I I'm very conflicted about it. Like the thing about Danganronpa's English dub is that you see the same couple voice actors just kind of like doubling up on characters, and you kind of see the same names floating around. But my goodness, Samuki's English voice. I don't have anything against the voice actress who voices Samuki in the English dub, but my goodness, her voice is so high. So, what I tried to do, what I tried, reading for Samuki in this little dub that I did, was that I just tried to, whoops, I just tried to do like a high-pitched voice myself, but I can't go as high-pitched as her canonical English voice. So this was my take.
Hinata is the seme, so it's Hinakoma.
But then her actual English voice, I don't have any clips on the ready. And again, I don't know if Danganronpa music or I think it's gonna ruin the stream. But my goodness, her official English voice is just like so high. Like the best way I can describe it is that it kind of sounds like a Sunday school teacher just trying to be especially nice. But like that fake politeness. It's very high, so I don't think I could ever like try to match her English voice 100%. Like let me see. All the Samugi quotes that I have are spoilers, so I can't even do them. I can't even say them because they're spoilers. Let me try to think of like a. But yeah, so like her English voice is so high, and it's just so jarring to like hear that voice coming out of her face in English because I was so used to the Japanese version of the voice, which is not a Sunday school teacher just trying to be especially fake nice. Goodness. I'm okay though. I think I just got I think I just got a little excited. But I mean, hey, I would rather cough because I'm happy and I'm having fun than cough because I'm sick and infectious and miserable. Yeah, that sucks. I can't like, the thing about, like, voice acting is sometimes you have, like, a little line that you do for, like, each character that you voice. Like, for Fidget, I just say, I gotta say dust, like, multiple times until I feel like I've got the voice down. With Cosmo, I always ask for a beer for Cosmo because apparently this character's an alcoholic. But with Tsumugi, the only lines that I have for her are all spoilers. Goodness. I'll be heading to bed now, starting to feel tired. Hope the hour goes well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice night. And again, the cat's on the... Why are you on the desk? Please stop. Please. Do not be on the desk. Please. Thank you. Goodness, cat. Please. Why are you doing this to me? Alright, let me go back to Clip Studio. Yeah, I can't think of a good Tsumugi line to try to match her, like, actual English voice. Oh my god, the cat's getting off the desk. Thank goodness, thank cat god. Please, no more desk, or at least no more monitor. I don't mind if you're on the desk. I don't. Just don't break anything, please. Ugh, living with cats. I love them dearly, but my goodness, sometimes they drive me nuts. yeah. Let me erase some of her figure over here. Because I'm kind of drawing the hair the same way that I outlined her figure, so... Don't want to mix those two up. But yeah, it sucks. Like, I really like V3, but I like it a lot. Like, a lot. And it's one of those things where... Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know if other people are like this. I've never met another person with this same mentality, but I'm the kind of person where if I'm introduced to a piece of media, I do not mind knowing the spoilers ahead of time, because for me, I also enjoy just seeing how a story plays out. So if I know the spoilers, I'm not automatically disappointed. Like, there are very few pieces of media where I do not want to know the spoilers. And for those pieces of media where I do not want to know the spoilers, I do not mention them anywhere. I don't mention them on social media. I don't mention them in writing. I don't mention them in videos. I don't mention them on stream, because I want to keep those to myself. And so I go through an amazing effort to not mention them, so that way no one spoils me by accident. Or on purpose. But yeah, so V3, when it originally came out, I was, you know, keeping track of it as, you know, it originally came out. So I already know the story, because I watched it in Let's Plays way back when it first came out in Japanese, before it even got an English release. So it's like, I already know everything that's gonna happen. And you might be wondering, well, why did you get the game if you already know everything that's gonna happen? Well, 1, because I like the story. 2, having a legal copy of the game on stream would allow me to have on Steam, stream, they rhyme. Woo! Having a legal copy of the game on Steam would allow me to record footage from the game so I can make content with it and stream with it and etc, etc. And 3, there's husbando in it. So yeah, it's, yeah. I can't help it. I'm a simp for Kipo. I can't help it. He was a major reason why I ended up getting the game on Steam when it was on sale last year. So I got it for multiple reasons. But yeah, I don't know anyone else like me who enjoys spoilers and likes seeing how stories play out despite already knowing what's gonna happen. So I try not to spoil things if I can help it. Sometimes accidents happen, and so, like, yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's a very interesting game, V3, and there's a reason why it's my favorite, because although it was controversial at the time when it originally came out, I think it's the one Danganronpa game that aged better than the rest, and that only got better with time. So, yeah. And, like, I thought of, like, okay, well, if I stream it, yeah, that's gonna be, like, my thesis statement. Like, V3 has only aged better. And, like, the story has gotten better since it originally came out. So, yay. Actually, like, if I say the line with no context, would it count as a spoiler? That's actually interesting. Because that's like the one Shibuya line that I could think of. Never mind. Because I do not want to ruin the experience for anyone. Alright, all the hair is kind of blending together because she just has so much of it, but I'll deal with that a little later. But at least we have all the hair down. Yeah, I'm actually surprised I can talk. It's like, I couldn't talk for a while. It's like, oh my god, now I won't shut up. But I mean, hey, that's a sign of improvement. It's like, okay, before I could not talk, like, period. Now I can actually, like, emote. It's wonderful. And let me do it lightly on Fukawa because of the braids. Whoops, wrong layer. Well, good thing I noticed that before I went too far. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. Well, it ain't art until you accidentally mess up one of the layers and have to catch yourself. So I guess this is officially an art stream. Now, the thing I was thinking about was that, the model that I'm currently using for my PNG tuber was meant to be a temporary model, but I mean, I've stuck with it for a year. And I don't intend on, like, getting rid of it completely. Like, I'll keep it around, especially for games that have more minimalist art styles, where this model would look cute. And also just for the sake of variety. But because my actual art style, was so influenced by Danganronpa, I want to wait until I actually finish my intended model. But then because of that, it's also like, well, if I were to do a Danganronpa stream, you know, it'd be kind of like, haha, funny gimmick if I was like, okay, well, what would my ultimate talent be? Because basically, the whole purpose of Danganronpa is essentially Gifted Kid Battle Royale. Like, everyone has a specialization, everyone has an ultimate talent, and yay. So it's like, well, what would my ultimate talent be? Like Fukawa over here is already the ultimate writer. Tsumugi over here is the ultimate cosplayer. And me, I'm like a jack of all trades. I have like a bajillion different hobbies. I like a lot of different things. So like, what would my ultimate talent be? Like, what's my main gimmick if I had to slot myself into like one main gimmick? So for me, I think I would be the ultimate fiction enthusiast, or like the ultimate media enthusiast. Because I love different media, and like I love a good story. So I think I'd be one of those two. For Mr. Blue, who I was originally going to stream Danganronpa with around Valentine's Day, I ended up not doing that because one, I just got busy hanging out with him on Valentine's Day. We were just, you know, watching anime and doing stuff and just hanging out. And also it's like, streaming Danganronpa on Valentine's Day. Okay, that's gonna be a weird choice. Like, streaming Honey Pop would have been a better fit, but I was busy with a friend, so yeah. Normally I only really play Honey Pop on Valentine's Day when I'm alone, but I had company this year, so it was like, whoa, friendship! Yeah. And also, we just could not logistically get streaming to work that particular day, so that's why a Valentine's Day stream did not end up happening. But yeah, so because I was originally going to stream the game with him, which I think he only agreed to in order to satiate me, like, he would definitely be the ultimate train enthusiast. That's for goddamn sure. The guy loves trains. So like, that's a really easy talent. If we're playing by Danganronpa rules for him, yeah. Ultimate train enthusiast, and then for me, ultimate either ultimate fiction enthusiast or ultimate media enthusiast. It's one of those two, but I can't really pick. What I actually started doing on paper was that I need to find my sprite. My sprite is currently missing, but if anything, I could just redraw it. But I started working on a sprite for him. And it's, again, I'm not really good at drawing men, but I think so far it's coming out okay. And I'm actually proud of myself for that. It's like, oh my god, it actually looks like a man! Okay, so I got all the hair down. How do I want to pose? How do I want to pose the arms? That's the question. So for my sprite over here, just kind of nervous and mousy because she's caught between two girls arguing about yaoi ship names. Oh, hi, Dust. How are you doing? You okay? Oh yeah, speaking of Dust, isn't the cat, not Elysian Tail. So, I named the cat appropriately. Probably wondering why I named the cat Dust in the first place. Well, one, I was kind of in a Dust Elysian Tail mood as it was already when I found her. And I was hoping to stream the game at some point. So it's like, oh, I'm in a Dust mood. I found a cat who's a dusty shade of gray. Dust/Dusty. Okay, that's your name now. Prior to recent times, I just thought Dusty was gonna be like a wholesome little uwu little good girl cat. Because that's what she is. Her teeth are bad, so it's like, okay, well, I don't really expect you to have hunting instincts. TJ does a lot of the pest control around here. And she didn't really seem to have much of a hunting instinct even with toys. She was just kind of happy to vibe and happy to be inside. So I just thought she was a uwu good girl cat. But as we saw in the last time I streamed Dust Elysian Tail, we unlocked the truth behind who Dust really is. And he's essentially three people. He's the combination of two people, and then he's just Dust. He's just himself, right? So recently I realized that I named this cat appropriately. Because one, this was when I started getting sick, right? So when so I was trying to sleep, and it's like 8 in the morning. I haven't slept all night because insomnia was kicking my ass. And I hear Dusty, like, scratching something, and I'm like, what are you doing, cat? Are you scratching the wall to go to Narnia? What are you doing? And she keeps scratching something, and I can't tell what. So there comes a time where it's like, okay, Dust, I don't know what you're scratching, but I had to pick her up, and then just move her away from the area. She kept going back. And I'm like, Dusty, what the hell are you doing? And then I picked her up, and then I put her in a different area. And then she kept going back. And I'm like, what the heck are you scratching? And then there's blood on the floor. And I'm like, oh no. So apparently, I named this cat appropriately because she is one part uwu good cat, one part mysterious little furry, and one part crazy assassin. So yeah, I named this cat a little bit too appropriately. So yeah, that was a horrifying thing to wake up to. But at least she has a hunting instinct. I'm actually pretty proud of her. It was horrifying, but I'm proud of her. The braids look like little hearts. Yeah, so the method that I use for drawing braids, one of the methods that I learned is that you draw a little heart, draw a little heart under that heart, and then you just continue until, you know, the braid is as long as you want it to be. And then you just exaggerate the line in the middle, and that's how you get a braid. But yeah, that's how I learned how to do it. And that's the method that I find works for me, so that's what I stick to. And I feel everything that looks good so far. Thank you! And considering this is my chibi style, I don't really need to focus on, like, fingers or anything, so it's like everyone could have blob hands, and that'll be perfectly fine. It just occurred to me, like, another thing that I want/need to draw. I would love to draw Ame/K-Angel from Needy Streamer Overload. So it's one character that I haven't drawn yet, but I feel like I should. Like, and then, like, there's gonna be a challenge drawing either one, because with K-Angel, she's very colorful, so it's like, oh boy, do I have the colors to draw in color K-Angel. And then with Ame, she's very goth. She's very heavily themed. So it's like, okay, can I draw her hair and her overall aesthetic? Oh yeah, that's a game I gotta play on stream again too, because the last time I played it, my internet went out toward the end, and you guys didn't get to see the ending. So that really sucks. Although thankfully I still have that save file, so I have it saved and I have the ending. So I could boot it up and show everyone whenever I stream that game again. Yeah, it could be fun drawing DD streamer overload thumbnails, just because the thumbnails that I have already prepared for it are just screenshots from the game. It's screenshots from the game combined with my overlay, actually. But I want to do better thumbnails. Those were just meant to be like, you know, it was quick and dirty just to have something versus nothing. Like, I can always go back and change them. I gotta make thumbnails for Katamari too, because Henry ended up making one, and then I ended up using that for the rest of the streams. Because I thought we were going to complete Katamari in like one sitting, because theoretically you can actually complete Katamari in one sitting if you're dedicated enough. And so I thought that's what we were going to do. That ended up not being the case. So yeah, like, I want all the thumbnails to be very nice and pretty and distinct. Right, shave it down from the inside. Restore some of the boobage over here. And then Fukawa, she already has a similar pose. Because I drew Fukawa, not Genocider. I probably should have drawn Genocider, but I don't want to draw that gigantic tongue. Because that's another thing about Danganronpa. Danganronpa has a lot of interesting characters with very large tongues. Let's see, how do I want to draw Fukawa's arms? Oh, almost did it on the wrong layer again. Okay. Maybe like she's going half Genocider. That could be funny. Let me do her arms on a separate layer. Let me make them a different color temporarily. Let me make them a shade lighter. Let me hide myself for a hot second. Yeah, because like going half Genocider would actually be kind of funny, considering that like in this art style no one has any fingers. Imagine just holding a pair of scissors. Actually, no, considering... No, that's just gonna look funny because it looks like she's gonna slit my throat. No, that's so mean! Okay, never mind. Never mind. Or, alternatively, I could do that on the other arm. So it's not pointing at anyone in particular. Granted, I might also have to space these out in the credits of the actual little clip snippet dub thing that I did? I don't know yet. These aren't even done. I'll have to see how it looks like all three together like this, or just have to separate them one by making each one invisible. But you know, that'll happen when it's actually done. Actually, let me stick to this color over here. Maybe like... because I don't want everyone to have their hand on their chesticles. So for some variety... what if, like... this kind of pose, but her hands are like over here, maybe? I don't know what I'm doing. I did that joint way too big. You know, that could work. A little bit of variety. Yeah, that seems like a very, Toko style pose. Oh, and then what if I do the scissors, like, in her hands? That fits very well, actually. Oh, but this... I'm not good at foreshortening. That's another weakness I have in art in general. Like, foreshortening is a bitch. Like, I've never been able to make foreshortening look good. I usually always end up covering it up. Lower the arm a little bit. And let me see if I can add the other hand here. Yeah, I'm like no good at... well, I guess technically it would be here, it would just kind of be a lump, but that always looks odd to me, but hey, if it works, it works. This is just a little doodle at the end credits of a thing that I'm doing. But even then, it's... foreshortening is like terrible. I just can't do it.
Oh, I yawned.
And then for Tsumugi. I kind of picture her like little obstinate, like Karen pose, like, you know how some people where it's like stomping their feet and just like kind of like hands to the side just like that. It's like you know, very let me speak to your manager pose. Hey, that's kind of mean. But I say it out of love. I love Tsumugi. She's kind of me for real, for real. Oh yeah, yeah, with so much hair on the way. Hold on a second, gonna have to erase some of the hair. Alrighty. Oh yeah, then I gotta do the other arm. But that's pretty easy. It's out to the side, I just gotta erase some of the hair. I guess that is one fun thing about painting digitally, is that if I were to do this on canvas, it would be like, well, crap, I just wasted a bunch of paint. But digitally, it's like, paint is infinite. And then I can do the hair. A couple touch-ups. Alright, now for the fun part, clothing. Alright, so Samuki's jacket is... it's open, for one. It was actually my first time doing, like, Danganronpa art. Like, period. Like, not even just, like, funny haha gag for the sake of credits that I could totally skip out on and I don't need to add, but I just added for fun. But no, just, this is flat out just the first time I've ever drawn, like, Danganronpa related anything. I feel like, yeah, the series just changed the way that I draw, like, across the board. But I've never actually drawn fan art of these characters before. I know I'm erasing a hair, it's all in the same layer, I'm trying to challenge myself. And plus I can always just add more hair. Let me merge the arm layer. Okay, yeah. They're on the same layer, nice. Her little Karen arm, like, humph. Her little let me speak to your manager arm. Refine it over here just a second. And then, this is the thing I find annoying about jackets, whether they're open or closed. It's like, okay, how do I make it look good on the other boob? Because it kind of goes inward and then, like, her boobs aren't showing that much. She's actually pretty covered up, but still fan servicey enough to where you can see her figure. It's part of what I like about Simbugi's design. She's intended to be very plain and very ordinary because she's just a cosplayer. And even her backstory in terms of how she became the ultimate cosplayer is based on interviews that Kodaka did with actual cosplayers, and a lot of their stories were like, oh, I just got into it by accident, or like, I just got into it because I thought it was fun. And that kind of thing. But otherwise, cosplayers are just like regular people. They just dress up for fun and profit. In some cases. And regular guys saying, art! Yeah! So it's been... How long have I been streaming for? Let me check OBS. I've been streaming for 2 hours now. I'm surprised that I've gone this far, but hey, I'm not complaining. But yeah, it's been 2 hours, so I might as well give the context as to as to what I'm doing. So, let me open up Yoda Vegas. So I did a dub of a thing that I found on Tumblr. Because for a while, you know, before, a little bit before I got sick, and then when I was especially sick, I found a whole bunch of Danganronpa, like edits, and you know, just like no context or like incorrect quotes. So yeah. So I found this and I dubbed it before I lost my voice and I started coughing real bad. So I dubbed it.
Hinata is the semi, so it's Hinakoma. The frail one being the semi is the whole appeal. It's Komahita, you swine!
And then in the credits, I like putting little pieces of art there in the credits, so it's not just a black screen. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on the art for the credits. And it just as a funny haha. Just it's like it's nice. It's nice to do art, and it gives something. You know, it gives the viewer something to see. So that's what I'm doing. So the context is that, you know, because it's two girls arguing about a yaoi ship name, it's just gonna be them two girls and then just me in the middle, very uncomfortable. It's like, you know, I got, my place no fight for yaoi. In the time you were streaming, I've been to 2 parties. Oh, I hope they were fun. What kind of parties were they? Were they like normal parties or like St. Olaf parties? Oh, I should turn the music back on. I was trying to find a track that I hadn't played before. Like, normally when I pick up music on stream, I tend to default to the Sonic Lost World soundtrack, because I really like that soundtrack. But it's like, okay, well, what song haven't I played before? So this is Windy Hill Zone 2, and I've just had it on a loop for a while. But yeah. An informal party on a roof and a zombie prom. I've never heard of a zombie prom before. But a roof party sounds fun. Had to try to find my screen for a second. I forgot which screen I was working with. Another funny thing is that when I was setting up stream, I had never set up, you know, for Sony Vegas to be captured on OBS before, so I had to set it up, but I didn't spell Vegas normally. I spelled it, if anyone here also watches 90 Day Fiancé, you might have seen Natalie on, the latest season of The Last Resort, where, you know, she's telling Josh, like, to take her to Vegas. I was talking about it with my mother, and then I was, like, quoting the show, and I'm quoting Natalie, who's just saying, Josh, take me to Vegas, but she's not saying it as Josh, take me to Vegas. She's saying it with her, like, very heavy Ukrainian accent. And I unintentionally started doing Natalie impressions in front of my mother. So, so because of her accent, she's saying Vegas, more like Vegas. So she's not just saying, Josh, take me to Vegas, she's like, Josh, take me to Vegas! So I spelt it like the way Natalie sounds like she's saying it. And whenever I look at it, it makes me laugh. Oh, information on a zombie prom. You do zombie makeup and get thrift clothes that you can tear up, and you can tear up other people's clothes. Oh. So basically, it's like a horror-themed excuse for, college kids to rip off each other's clothes. Goodness. I'm gonna take a little drink. Okay, that's better. I have some... What is this? It's cranberry grape. Cranberry grape cocktail. Because the thing about being sick is that, for the most part, all I've drank is water. It was water and tea, and I ran out of tea. And then I ordered groceries online, so I ordered grape cranberry cocktail, just so I could have some variety, and so I'm not just drinking tea like constantly, but I'm not drinking water. And then my mom brought protein shakes, so I've also just been downing those, and I love protein shakes. Like, protein shakes like are such a lifesaver when you're sick, because it's like, oh my god, vitamins, nutrients, and I could just down it like a shot. So yeah. It's nice just drinking something other than water. Like, obviously I'm trying to drink a lot of water still, but it's just nice to have some variety in my beverages. Because I gave up on soda many years ago. So I don't drink soda anymore, so that cuts out like a lot of drinks that I would normally drink. Yeah. So like my drink variety is not a lot. Although, you know, like, maybe later I could do like a hot chocolate. A hot chocolate might help my throat a little bit. Either hot chocolate or soup. That was pretty good. Yeah, like, I'm glad I'm getting better. I didn't think that I would get better in this, in, you know, this current month, I guess. But yeah, I was so bad before. It was terrible. It was awful. But now, like, I could at least talk. I'm so happy that I can talk again. Alright, so for clothing, this is a pretty simplified art style of mine, so it doesn't need to be 100% accurate or 100% detailed. Like my normal art style, so it don't gotta be perfect, it just has to get the point across that this is the character. Oh, my head kind of hurts a little bit. I don't know why. I do have painkillers next to me, though. Oh yeah, like, my coughing was so bad at one point that, like, I started feeling like a stabbing pain in my head whenever I coughed. I don't really get that now, thankfully. Because I think the antibiotics they gave me were working. But yeah, like, occasionally my head still does kind of hurt. So I'm just gonna eat one child's ibuprofen. So you might hear a crunch crunch, but it's just because I want to get it over with. And I don't want to have, like, the grit of the medication in my mouth on strem. Okay, I have taken the medication. But I need to look at her corset again. Okay, it's immediately under the bust. Oh, I should have made her boobs bigger. Can I make her boobs bigger? I think I can make them a little bit bigger. Yeah, and then corset is immediately under the bust, so... So the thing I just noticed actually, is that in the past when I've played Dust, the thing about Dust that I say is that he's very easy to draw, especially if you're used to drawing humans and you want to try to get into drawing furries. But he's annoying to color in because he's just blue on blue on blue on blue, teal on teal on teal. But it just occurred to me, like, Sabuki's also kind of got the same issue, but, like, at least she has a human skin tone to break up all the different shades of blue-green on her. And, like, here it's, you know, just a lot of blue-green all compiled together. If you took off the blazer, she'd have a white top to break it up even more. You know, give the eyes a minute to relax from all the blue-green. But yeah, it's not as... She wouldn't be as annoying to color in. Actually, I wonder if I'm getting a headache because I need to eat. Last time I ate was around... It was a while ago. Crap. So I think I do need to eat. I think I need to add like a little disclaimer on the screen to just like, please remind streamer to eat. The streamer forgets to eat. And just, everyone just treats me like a Tamagotchi. That could actually be really funny. Like, I know, I think it was Germa that, did a stream where he basically just treated himself as a sim and the chat just basically treated him like a sim for the entirety of the stream. But like, and I wouldn't let chat control me like a sim, but I would let chat like treat me like a little Tamagotchi. Like, you need to eat. We need to clean up after you. We're gonna play a game. You need to eat. Please don't die. Like that kind of thing. Just like I just treat myself like a cat that's being babysat, not by an individual but just by the internet. It's just like, please remind streamer to eat. Streamer forgets to eat. Oh yeah, my head's actually starting to hurt pretty bad and I don't know why. So I could try eating. I could try making myself a soup, or I could eat leftovers from whatever I had before. Goodness, my head. Well, I know I can't possibly be dehydrated because I've been drinking a lot of water. I may actually try loosening my hair. Could also just be that I have a tension headache from keeping my hair up. Like, I have to try wearing my hair down more often. Just to eliminate the possibility of that giving me a headache. Because I've had more headaches than I think I've ever had in my entire life this month, just because I got so sick. So, I should try reducing the possibility of getting headaches by keeping my hair down. And my hair tie just fell on the floor. Okay, that's the universe telling me to keep my hair down. Oh, scusi. Oh, yeah, I hate being sick. It sucks. And this is the worst I've gotten in a long time, too, so it's like... Oof. That plus mystery diagnosis that they still can't figure out yet. It's like, fun. And then I had to cancel another appointment that I had today, too, because it's like, ugh, I still don't feel that great. But I mean, hey, like, I'm recovering, thankfully. I'm a lot better than I have been. And I got to stream. So yeah, that's fun. Alright, let me get... lighter shade of blue so that way I can outline the boobs. So that way it's not just a blob on the chesticles. And then let me get the corset over here. Go under that line. That way we have a little bit of definition. There we go. Let me get another color to do some detailing on the shirt. And that looks good, actually. And gotta get the bow. You know, if I try to draw this all in one layer, I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. Because normally I'm like one of those like 100-layer people. Okay, let me round it out over here. But yeah, currently debating if I should just heat up my leftovers from earlier or if I should make a soup. I mean, like, soup would be the easiest option, but I also doubt anyone wants to hear me eat soup. That's looking good. Let me get a dark color from the corset. Just kind of break up all the blue on blue on blue on blue on blue. That is Tsumugi. I need a darker blue. But yeah, I hope everyone else has been doing well. Because, like, I know seasons are changing and it's already a prime time for people to get sick, but yeah. It's warming up. Spring is nice, though. Oh yeah, and I've also been able to do some photography. So, for around my anniversary, my VTubing anniversary, someone had fully crowdfunded a camera for me on Throne, which is like, I was just so hype about it that when it showed up, I actually showed my mom and I showed my uncle and I was like, yeah, my audience got me a camera because I've talked about photography in the past and they were like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you. And I was like, Oh my god, they're happy for me. But yeah, I've actually been able to do some photography recently, and I don't have the photos on the computer itself. I have to put the photos on the computer. But yeah, because it's spring, all the flowers are coming out and saying hello to the world. And the weather's been nice, so it's just like, oh boy, I could take photos of flowers. So I've been taking photos of flowers, and yay. I used to do a lot of flower photography in my youth. And yeah, I really like photographing nature and architecture. I've never been good at photographing people. It's partially because no one ever posed for photos for me, and I never had anyone to photograph, so, you know, that's part of it. But yeah, I really love photographing nature. And I also tested it out to see if it could record sound effects, because I wanted to record ocean wave sound effects. Because for the longest time, I only had, like, one ocean wave sound effect. And it's not even for a very long loop, because I recorded it on a cell phone that didn't have a lot of space. But yeah, I also just tested it out, and I recorded, like, ocean sound effects, and it was like, oh my god, sound effects. It sounds fine on the camera, but it's also another one of those things where it's like, I have to put it on the computer to see how it actually sounds. But yeah, I was able to do things with the camera. It was so cool. Yeah, for something that was just supposed to be a doodle, I could have just, like, drawn everything the same color, but no, this is actually me going ham. I don't even know if I'm gonna color in the skin now. I'm like, should I color in the skin? Or should I just leave it like that? Like, just, like, everything is transparent, but now they have full, like, fully detailed clothes. Now it's, in the process of going ham, accidentally, I am now conflicted. Just like, this was just supposed to be a funny little haha, now this is turning out to be my first piece of Danganronpa fan art. And it's just me in the middle. Like, at least if I color in the face, it's not gonna be an issue. But then at least, like, for my PNG tuber model over here, it's like, some of my chesticles are showing. In addition to some thigh meat, but it's mostly the chesticles. So if I color in the chesticles with like a flesh tone, I'm gonna have to skirt around that, provided I do it live. Oh, I forgot I was messing around with the pose over here. Let me erase that. Also, there's a mystery line going through the middle over here. I don't know where that's coming from. It's on the drawing itself. It's not on my... Okay, it's on my layer. I don't know where that came from. Alright, I think I erased all of it. Yeah, it's probably gonna look weird if the faces are black and then everything is like fully colored, so I think I'm just gonna color in the skin. Oops, I was erasing stuff. Yeah, I don't really use the paint brushes as much as I used to in the old version of Clip Studio. Like, when it updated to, I think it was 2.0 that they introduced the subscription model. That's when they updated all the brushes, so like the oil paints I used to use all the time before 2.0, and now in 2.0 I don't really use them as much, but I find myself using them now. But it's still not the same. They don't blend the same. They don't go on the digital paper the same. But I'm using them here because, again, this was originally just supposed to be a simple, funny haha. Like in the same style of like my other little credit doodles. I have my other clips and like dubs. But no, I'm actually like, yeah. We now have a devotion to sparkle motion. And I should also detail the hair more, now that I'm coloring in the skin. But yeah, this is fun. This was a good idea for a stream. I've got to do it again. Oh, there's that line again. Whoops, and I erased her face. You know, if I'm already trying Tsumugi, I gotta draw myself a Kibo and just... If no one else will supply me with Kimugi, I'll... Guess I gotta do it myself! Alright, so now this is proven to be a I should have done this on another layer issue, but you know what? We're gonna make it work. We can, like, painting digitally means the paint is infinite. We don't gotta worry about the finer details. We can just edit over ourselves. And that's the other thing too, like, I mostly just do traditional art. Traditional art it's not as forgiving as doing it digitally, because digitally, you know, the undo button is always there. Traditionally, you just kind of gotta roll with things. Or start over if you, like, severely messed up, or if the work you've done is damaged. I just realized she's very, like... The skin tone I got was especially pasty. This is... It's a little too pink, though. I'll just leave her like that. Outline the rest of the blazer. Then I gotta work on coloring in the blazer. Add some color down to here. Add another color on top. Probably should have done that on another layer below. Because she's turning out to be a lot of teal on teal on teal. I'm getting dust flashbacks. And let me get the outline color. Feel like, my goodness, she's turning out to be a pain to color in. I didn't even intend to. I was just kind of going through the motions. Just like, ah, yes, painting is fun. And now look what I've done to myself. But yeah, this was a good idea. I'm glad I streamed tonight. And then the buttons. Are the buttons like the same colors? It's almost like, it's almost if not the same color as her skin tone. Or like the lightest portion of her skin tone that I could find. 6 buttons there. Oh yeah, and then I gotta do the collar. Alright, there we go. Now I gotta do the collar, which is gonna be a pain in the butt. Because I hate doing jacket collars. Like, much like I'm a stickler for scaling, I'm also kind of a perfectionist when it comes to symmetry, if I can help it, but also I really suck at symmetry. So, it's kind of a contradiction there. It's like, okay, well, I would like things to be symmetrical, but I can't draw things symmetrically to save my life. So there's that. Let me do that. I'll just redo the hair. Yeah, this turned out to be pretty cute, actually. I never would have expected my first piece of Danganronpa fan art to be essentially a shitpost, but here we are. My heading's going right, that's good. Alright, I'll add the buttons after I touch up on the hair. Because now that the clothes are so detailed, her hair looks stringy by comparison. You would wear this at the Has-Been Hotel. Well, it's a school uniform, so... like, a lot of the characters in Danganronpa wear school uniforms. Alright, so the original shrine was all the way down here. My uniforms were different. I've never worn a school uniform, actually, not past elementary school. Like, our elementary school used to have uniforms, and then they stopped. So, we only wore uniforms for, like, a very limited time. Or only for special occasions, that was the rule. But yeah, so then I've never worn a school uniform again. Or, like, I've worn school uniforms as cosplay. But wearing a cosplay school uniform is much different from wearing an actual school uniform. Polo shirts and tan pants. Usually girls wear skirts, but they could wear pants when I went. Yeah, that's usually like the standard, like, American elementary through middle school. And then it depends on the high school. Where the uniforms are very boring, like... I think part of the reason why we like anime school uniforms is like, you know, they're just so aesthetic. They're just so cool and so neat. And also just really fashionable. There are ways to make Japanese school uniforms and like Sailor Fuku especially look very fashionable. And good for like all occasions. Like I've worn Sailor Fuku outside. And I've gotten a lot of compliments, especially like from little old ladies. It's like, oh, that's so cute. Is that a school uniform? Is that a sailor uniform? And I'm like, yeah! So I guess if you want to start a fun conversation with a friendly old lady, then just wear a Sailor Fuku outside. And then hopefully they get the reference. But yeah, like... Yeah, school uniforms over here are like a lot more boring by comparison. But at least in American schools, they don't force you to wear a skirt for the most part. Again, it really just depends on the school. Whereas in Japan, they try to force like that strict uniform binary between the genders where it's like, okay, girls must wear skirts and, you know, the boys must wear pants, etc., etc. I did want to cosplay Danganronpa stuff at one point when I was more of a cosplayer, but honestly, after the panchetta, after the pandemic, I was like, you know, cosplay is kind of increasingly becoming more and more expensive, so that's actually like a hobby that I just kind of gave up on. And also, you know, there was nowhere to go. I don't go to parties. And like, yeah... So I don't really cosplay anymore. If I were to get back into it, I'd have to start really simple. Like, yeah. Like, one easy franchise that's actually pretty easy to cosplay because really what you need to be recognizable as the character is a good wig and maybe, like, an accessory or two. It's Hetalia. Hetalia is really easy to get into if you're a little baby cosplayer and you want to cosplay on the cheap. Because a lot of Hetalia characters, they're more recognizable by a hairstyle or particular accessories, and then their actual outfits are either casual clothes, business suits, or military uniforms. So if you're like a historical reenactment actor, like you might actually just have stuff for Hetalia cosplay in your repertoire already, and all that. But yeah, like really, the bare minimum is just a good wig, or styling your natural hair to match a character. Like, if you have black hair, if you have, like, long black hair, you could easily cosplay the Hetalia version of China. Or the Hetalia version of Vietnam, if you just style your hair in those styles. If you're a blonde, Hetalia has so many blonde characters. It's just like, okay, pick your shade of blonde. Have at it. But yeah, so it's pretty easy to get into if you want to cosplay on the cheap. But again, because Hetalia is the nations of the world anthropomorphized as people, and because a lot of their outfits are either, you know, military uniforms or stuff representative of their culture, you do have to be careful with, you know, what uniforms you wear. Because you could easily cause issues. Depending on, like, the uniform and, like, the era of, you know, the country you are cosplaying as. So yeah, that's, like, my only advice for Hetalia cosplay. Let's see. Yeah, like, that's from personal experience, that's the easiest fandom to cosplay in on the cheap. With Danganronpa, I would have been reliant on ordering costumes that were already made. Although with Tsumugi, for a long time, I had, like, polo shirts, kind of similar to her shirt, and I had, for the longest time, I had, like, a dark teal blazer and, like, a blue skirt that could have worked, but the blazer was not long enough, and the skirt was also not long enough, so it would have been kind of shabby. And then I would have had to make my own corset or had to find one. So yeah, I would have been very reliant on just buying stuff. And then the only thing I have that could be workable for Danganronpa cosplay is the wig that I did get with the intention of one day cosplaying Tsumugi that I had to trim because it suffered some damage. And there's another character that's not in like the main game. She's an Ultra Despair Girls that does have pink hair, and I have a good pink hair wig for her. But like, she's just such a minor character that, like, will anyone even get the reference? Oops, wrong shade. But yeah, I didn't expect to go this ham, but here I am. And then I gotta get another color just to balance out the hair, because it's pretty flat. Yeah, like, she's got a pretty... again, it's just more teal on teal on teal. But I do like coloring in her hair. I like messing around with her hair. It's fun. But I just also just love drawing hair. Especially like long flowing hair or like crazy long hair. Yeah, this is nice. Although I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. It's like, Like, I know I should have forced it, but at least with drawing streams, it's like, I just get so in the zone with drawing that I get self-conscious about, like, am I talking enough? It would be nice to, like, get someone, like, on a call to draw with someone else in the room one day. But, I didn't know how long I would be going for tonight, and it's like, it's kind of a miracle I'm still able to talk. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just enjoying myself at the moment, but it's like, maybe one day. One day, Percy. One day. You're considering that I'm kind of like drawing her a little bit off model, like, again, Tsumugi, like, in universe, is like such a stickler for cosplay that the reason why she became a cosplayer is that because it's like she sees cosplay as like having to embody the character, but because like no one else would do it right, she did it herself. So like, if she were conscious of the fact that she's being drawn, she would be in so much despair of like, I'm off model! It's like, not by much, sweetheart. I'm still off model! Let me try to get another shade of blue.
Scusi. Scusi.
Like, now we've entered like the silent, like in the zone, like Zen portion of like doing art. It's like, radio silence. Just pure emotion. It's not intentional, it's just how I would normally draw. I normally draw like I'm quiet or I'm listening to music and maybe singing a little ditty or two, but other than that. It's part of why I think like I would benefit from having someone to do like art streams with. It's just to have, you know, someone else to bounce off of. Buddy. It's just a matter of one, whoever's free, and then two, do they even care about the subject matter that I'm drawing? Yeah. Alright, now it's looking more voluminous, not as flat as before. It's coming pretty good. I didn't think I'd end up doing it this way, but yeah. Not too shabby for my first ever Danganronpa fan art. Actually couldn't think of it. Oh crap, this is gonna be So difficult to do on them braids. Dear God. Like a nice straight hair like this, like it's a little bit wavy at the end. Very relaxing to do. Same on like my little spiky hair that I gave myself. And the crook of the neck over here. Again, really another example of like, I should have separated all the layers, but we're working with what we've got. It's fine. Could use another shade of blue. Something dark, but not too similar to the other ones. It's a lot of blue cream, a lot of too many similar shades. It's like, my goodness, Tsumugi. I wonder if I can get a shade off of Kibo. That would look good on Tsumugi's hair. Okay, if I take a little bit of the color from the— oops, wrong layer. Take a little bit off of Kibo's plating. Oh yeah, that actually had some depth to it. Nice. We made Kimugi happen by mixing a little bit of their colors together. Alright, this actually was working out pretty well. I wonder if I draw Kibo if I can get a color off of Tsumugi so that he has like one of Tsumugi's colors. I still have to draw some Kimugi. If only there was Kimugi content that I could dub. Well, that would be great. That would give me an excuse to draw more Kimugi. Oh, that's what I get for talking so much about this pairing that I like that's so rare. I'm just kind of like switching between like water and like juice every so often just to have a little bit of variety. Because it's like when you're sick, like there are like 3 kinds of diets you can have when you're sick, right? 1, you just try to eat what you normally would eat if you weren't sick. 2, you try to stay healthy. You try to eat a little bit better than you normally would because you're sick and you want to get better. Or 3, you just eat whatever you can quickly cook, or you just order takeout if you're well enough to go outside because you need fuel in your body, and foods, like what kind of foods just stops becoming important after a while. You just need food. You just need fuel. You need to consume matter, crunch it up into tinier matter, digest it, and get energy from it. And I was the 3rd person when I was like peak sick. Like, yeah. And like now that I'm better, it's like, I want variety. I'm sick of eating soup. I'm sick of eating boxed mac and cheese, because that's all I had the energy to make. It's nice having variety in my diet again. And oh my god, I drank so much water when I was like peak sick. And I also drank so much tea when I was peak sick. So it's like, now that I have juice again, and now that me running out of iced tea has just forced me to drink something other than iced tea. It's been nice. So yeah. It is still scary that it's like, okay, well, they gave me medicine for one thing, but like, what about the other thing? That's still gonna be scary. But like, at least, okay, I can describe what happened pretty well. So maybe if I like write it down on a card, and it happens again, I can try to summon an ambulance, and then just have it on the ready so that they know what's going on. And yeah. But like, in a weird way, I'm kind of thankful that I'm comfortable in hospitals. And just for that reason, where it's like, it could be a lot worse if I wasn't. And thankfully, like, the hospital staff was just so nice. Like, this hospital had, like, the best, most friendly staff ever. It's like, my goodness, these people are miracle workers. Like, thankfully I didn't have to, like, stay overnight. That would have been horrible, just because, you know, I kind of left to go to the doctor assuming that, like, okay, I'll be back. Because I do not trust these cats home alone. I feel like if I left the cats home alone without a babysitter, I would just come home to a battle royale. And it would not be fun. And that would have been scary to think about. It's like, my goodness, I don't want to have to stay in the hospital. I need to go back to the cats. Make sure they don't commit chaos. Alright, let me outline the face. No, that looks terrible. Let me actually define the face a little bit more. And now let me outline it. Maybe with the original hair color that we had before. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Yay! And we drew a Samugi. Nice. Let me actually save. I haven't saved this entire time. So, censor screen for just a hot second. Crap, what folder do I put it in? Okay, I saved it. Nice. But yeah, wouldn't it have been so despair-inducing if I had accidentally shut down or like did something else in the program without having saved first? Alright, so what do I want to work on next? Samugi's like mostly done, so I want to take a break from all that blue. Could do Fukawa next. I think I'll do Fukawa. But then I'm gonna need to redo the hair. I'm gonna need another color to do the hair with. I think that'll work. Okay, so yeah, uniform. she has... She has this tank top part underneath. And it's the same color as the rest of her top. I still feel like I drew her boobs too big, but I struggle to draw flat chests. Oh, and she has her hands showing. Crap. That's more flesh I gotta worry about. Okay, might as well just bite the bullet, color in the skin now. Actually, let me try to get a little bit more variety in all these shades of beige. That's looking pretty good. Okay, faces are pretty much done. Gotta smooth out the color by the hair, though. Well, by the bangs, rather. Whole face is surrounded by hair. Grab the color from the face down to the neck. Actually, couldn't think of it. Let me get my skin tone too. Oh my god, I'm so pale by comparison. Basically paper white. But yeah, visually speaking, I never realized how pale my avatar was. like I think this is pretty close to white. Like, what color is it exactly? Let's see. It is the exact, like, the RGB is for R, for red, 253, for green, 244, for blue, 246. This is pretty damn close to actually just white. Holy crap, I didn't realize how pale my model was. You still look cute. Thank you! Yeah, so like, another, concept I had when I was thinking, okay, I'm not really sure I could pull off being a princess, was that I would be a paper doll. And that would justify how pale my model was. But here's the thing. So when it comes to my model's actual skin tone, on paper, because again, I'm mostly a traditional artist, I mostly just work with, you know, like physical materials. Like the fact that I'm doing digital art right now is, you're witnessing a rare event for me. Normally when it comes to digital art, I mainly just do touch-ups to my actual traditional work when I scan it into the computer. But that's also the tricky thing about traditional art and scanning it into a computer, is that sometimes the colors will scan in weird. So on paper, my model has some color to her face. Like, she has an actual factual, like, human skin tone. When scanned into the computer, she just becomes monstrously pale. But I also haven't, like, actually worked with, like, this actual skin tone of this model in a while either, because I've mostly just doodled her. That I was, like, actually looking at the skin, I was like, my goodness, this is pale. But yeah, since, like, my actual model will hopefully have a little bit of pigment to her face. But, you know, depending on how the colors scan in, it might be better off just, like, super duper milky pale like this. Yeah, this wasn't the intention, and again, this model was intended to be temporary, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. And, you know, it looks good with the royal blues that I have on me, so... Yeah. In terms of VTuber lore, now I'm just a hermit. And the fun thing about being a hermit is that, like, it actually encompasses, like, everything that I do, because hermits just kind of keep to themselves. They're, like, very nerdy, wise people. So it's like, oh my god, it's the perfect role for me. I'm just a hermit. I'm like Seiga Kaku from Toho minus the Taoism. Yeah. And then I also thought of, so, like, when I thought of, like, okay, it'd be kind of cool to make my friends into VTubers, and I thought of, like, okay, I can make them a lore that fits along with my lore, so that way we're all connected. And I thought of lore for Mr. Blue, and I thought it was hilarious. So, his VTuber concept that, we agreed on, for the model that I want to make him is that, he is a werewolf train conductor. And now that I'm a hermit and not a princess, originally the story was like basically once upon a time I was a princess at a tower, and he was starting to lay down train tracks outside of my tower, and I'm like, hey, what the hell are you doing? Get away from my tower. But with sheer persistence, you know, he does end up building them train tracks, and we become friends, and that's why we stream together. That was gonna be our lore. Now that I'm a hermit, the lore hasn't really changed much. You just kind of change it from, like, okay, someone who's alone for the sake of study rather than someone who's alone for the sake of, you know, fairy tale tropes. And, you know, insert dog on a train to brighten up their world and be their friend. And chauffeur them places on the train. And all that. For Eddie, for Galactic Cuisine, his whole concept is chef in space, basically. That's the simplest concept of my friends as VTubers. So it's like, okay, cool. How do I connect that lore-wise? But at least it's, you know, it's such a simple concept that it can really just fit in anywhere in terms of, like, a story. But yeah, like... And, like, lore doesn't need to be connected. This is more just me thinking, like, with agency or, like, management mindset of, like... originally, Phase Connect, like the VTuber agency Phase Connect, all of the towns were supposed to have, like, connected lore that interconnected with one another. And then they dropped that, or it still applied to, like, some, streamers' debuts, but it's not really mentioned in canon, because none of them are really particularly in character all of the time. Like Fuumoko, from Hololive. They're in character all of the time. Like, they are not, like, their actual name wearing an anime girl dog costume. They are just Fuumoko. They are heckhounds. They are Fuawa and Mokoko Abisgar. They're in character all the time. They never really take a break from being in character. Like, even within their generation, of, you know, Hollow Advent, like, the others break character, like, they're never in character all of the time, but Fuumoko is. So there's also that to consider when it's, like, making VTuber lore and, models for your friends. It's like, okay, how are we all connected, and are we in or out of character? Like, Eddie is just himself, I'm just myself, and there are moments where I do take on a bit of a character, but it's, like, you know when it's happening, basically. Like, I'm not in character all of the time. I'm not doing a bit 24/7. And I think with, Mr. Blue, I think we discussed the idea of, like, okay, well, are you gonna be playing a character, or are you just yourself with, you know, the VTuber model as your second skin? And he was like, maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll just try both. But I kind of want to play a character. And yeah. So I wonder if I finish up his model and I color it in, I wonder if he's gonna turn up as pale as me. I don't know. It's fun to think about. I'm distracting myself, but I'm having fun. It's been a while since I've streamed, and also it's like... like, I'm still germy and gross and sick, but it's like, hey, I'm alive, and that's pretty cool. I also still have to make a fan mascot as well. I have to finalize the design. I still have the work saved that I did before, so I can touch up upon that another day. So there's that. But yeah, I'm very rambly, and I'm like, that's the other thing about art streams. It's like, okay, there's nothing going on but just drawing on screen, and if I'm alone, it's just like, okay, time to ramble. But yeah, one day I'll experiment with the idea of having another person on here when I draw. But I kind of lost the line for my torso in trying to draw the arms. And I don't have any sleeves, so I have the most skin. I'm laughing at the word skin. Not because I think it's a funny word, but just because I remembered something that I did a very long time ago. I don't have the recordings for it on this computer. It's on my previous one. But I was attempting to write a song, which I'm not a very good songwriter. But one of the lyrics involved the word skin, and I remember I kept messing up my little demo that I made for it. And then I just kind of started like messing around with the word skin. And I just remembered while trying to kind of arrange the lyrics that I was writing, and I'm like, it's time for skin. If I find that recording, maybe I'll play it on stream. If I'm brave enough. I'm not very brave when it comes to talking about original projects. Yeah. But also, like, the instrumental for that song was, very heavily influenced by Tally Hall's Hidden in the Sand, so, there's also that. It's not a one-for-one, but I kind of took, the what's it called? Like, hold on, there's a riff of that song that I used for the song that I was trying to write. Let me get the piano. Thankfully, it's right here. And all my wires are getting crossed. Crap! Oh yeah, another thing I was doing when sick, I was practicing piano again. That was fun. And gravity is making everything fall down around me. That's also fun. It also doesn't help that the Yamaha is so huge. And my head. Let me take off my headphones. But yes, I remember for the song, like, one of the main riffs. And to be fair, I was trying to learn how to play Hidden in the Sand at the time, so that's why it was kind of unintentionally borrowed. It's, There we go, I got it on the first try. It was that. And that's the only part of the song I know from Hidden in the Sand. That's the only part I can play that I remember. And then for the song that I was trying to create that was supposed to be original is I forgot all of the keys. That's the other thing. I forgot all the keys. I haven't played this in years. I'm just trying to get it from memory, but I hardly remember it is the thing. It's just been that long. So it's more like I'm trying to play a recreation of what I was trying to create many years ago. Nope, that was the wrong one. Wrong one. I can't get the final note right, but yeah, this was where the skin line was. There we go, there it was at. And that was where the skin thing happened, and I kept messing it up, and eventually that's where time for skin happened. So and again I think of that and I laugh at the word skin. Alright, that's enough piano for the night. But yeah, so I'm not really an instrumentalist in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not a composer whatsoever. Composing is a lot different from performing. They're two completely different skill sets. Being able to do both is cool. But you know, just because you can do one does not automatically mean you can do the other. It's the same way like with art and graphic design. Those are two completely different skill sets. Sure, they have some overlap, but you can't expect one to do the other. Like me, I'm an artist. I do stuff and I make things with my hands and I draw things that look pretty. But if you were to ask me to do graphic design, I would have to refer you to someone else because I don't know how to do graphic design. I can't make a logo to save my life. I don't know how to organize things while still keeping them aesthetic to look good on a piece of paper or a spreadsheet or whatever. So yeah, two totally different skill sets. Like, they could easily overlap with one another, but you know. And like, for me, like, I guess I was attempting to compose my own music back in the day, but I'm very bad at it. I can't read sheet music to save my life, let alone write it down. So I was basically just trying to play it all by ear, quite literally. Yeah. Yeah, it is really fun playing piano. I'm not really good at it, but it's enough to keep me satisfied. And again, it's also just fun to mess around with in terms of just trying to play music and attempting to write my own music. But I haven't done that in a very long time, actually. I feel like that's why if I was like... I can't really think of myself as just one thing. I'm not just an artist. I'm not just a writer. I'm not just this, that, the other. It's like I'm a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades. So that's why I feel like if I was a Danganronpa Ultimate, like, I can't just put myself in one category of just, like, picking a thing and doing the thing. Like, I would have more of a generalized Ultimate talent. Alright, this arm is starting to look a little bit more like a stick. Alright, last portion of my skin. Man, it's very relaxing doing this manually. Around that edge right there. Maybe if I try to like thicken the black outline in here, makes it look more like a hand instead of a stick. Like, the one complaint I have about digital art is that sometimes, especially if you're doing it manually, you can't tell if you've got the whole layer covered and all that. So sometimes you see another color poke through, or there might be some transparency you don't see until you export it. So that part is kind of annoying, but just the act of coloring it in manually like you would if you're doing it on paper, that's relaxing. Let's try to add some body to this hand. Alright, enough hands. Blue. Okay, never mind, I didn't lose the color. Oops, and am I erasing it? Why am I erasing it? What the heck happened? Okay, it switched to transparent for a hot second, but I fixed it. Yeah, like, if I can, I'd like to continue this and just try to stream a lot this weekend. One, because it'll give me something to do. Two, because I missed you all. And three, it's also just like, you know, I could be doing this alone. I could just be doing this off stream and then make a post somewhere and then forget about it. But it's like, I'm actually kind of having fun. Like, I haven't... Yeah. I've never really been productive in front of a crowd before, I guess. Sleepy, nighty night. You have a good sleep. Oh my god, it's 1 in the morning. Right here. I still remember when I streamed SA2 for the first time, I accidentally went until 3 in the morning. I started at 9 p.m. On September 20th, going into the 21st. And I was originally like, I'll just probably go until midnight, until it becomes the 21st, and then I'll go to sleep. And then, lo and behold, I streamed until 3 in the morning, and I streamed for 6 hours. And it's like, it's such a long stream that, like, I could try to download it, but it would be such a gigantic file that I have to just grab clips from that stream just manually by recording my browser. But yeah, that was such a good time though. I really gotta stream SA2 again. Although, like, yeah, that Rouge level with, you know, just give me 5 minutes. That's gonna be torture. That could be its own stream. I don't even know how long it'll take. It took me, like, what, an hour? Like, on one of the knuckles. Like, an aquatic mine? Yeah, an aquatic mine. I think aquatic mine took an hour. I think Pumpkin Hill took, like, 30-something minutes. So I'm gonna screw up so hard on that particular Rouge level. It's gonna be torture. Yeah, like, trying to color in this rendition of my outfit always is like, hee. Because, something I want to do for myself is that, my model is very much a paper doll, actually. Like, my model that I want to stream with in the future. It's just a paper doll as a base, and then all of the clothes and accessories, and even, like, the arms, and each individual hairstyle is its own individual piece that gets added onto it. So, because it's essentially a paper doll, I do want to experiment with outfits, and, like, Iron Mouse has a whole lot of outfits and different models, so it's like, how do I beat that? How do I have more outfits than Iron Mouse? So that's something I definitely want to do. But this rendition of my outfit was, kind of improv, and it kind of became outdated as soon as I posted my cover of crap, I'm forgetting. Introduction to the Snow, yeah. It kind of easily became outdated like that. Even my hairstyle and the art for that was outdated as soon as I posted it. Because, you know, my model ended up with the ahoge. But yeah, hopefully I can perfect the outfit that I want. And, you know, get that model done. But it is hard being a perfectionist when it comes to art. It's like, even now, like, like, just drawing, what I'm drawing right now. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, but I'm also just trying to, like, it's digital, it's for a hee-hee. And also just, like, this is fun. Just doing it on stream is fun. I think doing it on stream is ironically making me less of a perfectionist, so it's like I'm not as nitty-gritty about it more than I need to be. It's actually kind of surprising, like, the effect that streaming can have on a person. Both good and bad, but in my case, it's like, oh, this is my first time, like, trying to do productive things in front of an audience, and, like, I'm actually benefiting from it. But yeah. But it is also kind of also one of those things where it's like, it's quiet, it's like, you know, if there was rain going on in the background, that would make it even more perfect. Just drawing, you and I together, on a rainy night, and you're watching me work my craft. That would make it especially cool. And then I gotta grab the other blue for the outline. The blue that's supposed to be my shorts / bodysuit underneath. Actually, the best thing about, like, the bodysuit that I put on my model is that I can actually, like, censor the chesticles. I just prefer not to. And plus, they're not really showing that much to begin with. But the slit is so high that, like, shorts became necessary because otherwise they'd be against a lot of TOSs on streaming services. Or, like, sites that allow you to stream, rather. It's like I'm on Netflix or something. No, that's not the case. But yeah. And that is the fun thing, too, trying to come up with the design. It's like, okay, well, how do I make it a little bit, like, I don't know what word you would insert here because everyone's different. Some people would say sexy or lewd or this or that. I just wanted to show off my thighs. It's like, how do I show off the most thigh without breaking anyone's TOS? So, you know, the shorts are brilliant for that because the shorts can become leggings. They can become, you know, non-existent. They could connect to a garter if I wanted to add a garter. Or they can not exist at all, but I'd rather have the shorts there because at least it's also a break from just royal blue and skin. Because there's definitely also a science of, like, how much skin is too much. Like, especially when it comes to, like, character designs, and even just how humans dress, too, like... when dealing with, like, the science of attraction, like... Growing up, in a family that did not want me to socialize with boys, in any way, shape, or form. You know, you get told, like, oh, men just want to see you wear nothing. Men will undress you with their eyes, etc., etc. But, like, no, there's actually, like, a science to, like, how much clothes, like, and how much you cover yourself, and, like, what is deemed attractive. And, you know, what is, like, more sexy, like, it would be like going out in a string bikini versus going out in just, like, casual clothing where you're not totally covered up, but, you know, you're still showing some skin. And then also that versus covering up significantly more. It's like, if you're wearing a bikini, you're basically just, you're kind of showing a lot already. So it doesn't leave a lot to the imagination. Casual clothes where you're showing some skin, but you're not showing, like, too much. Okay, that's a reasonable, moderate amount. Like, you know, that's kind of the average. You know, that could be deemed attractive. If you're covering up a little bit more, you know, that could also be deemed as attractive. But basically, like, if you're showing too much skin to begin with, like, you're kind of normalizing the idea of being mostly nude. It's like even the science behind, like, nudist colonies, too. It's like, if that's normalized, you don't see it as a sexual thing. You don't see it in a sexual context, so you don't really see it as sexy. So it's really interesting. It's like a psychological thing, and that also plays into, you know, like, how you dress yourself, and character design as well. So I think a lot about that stuff. Which is why I'm able to ramble about it so much. But yeah. Oh, that's a skin. That's the skin tone. I thought I had blue. You know, the blue is a lot lighter than I thought it was. Yeah, it's mostly solid shade of blue. Oh, and it's a little bit transparent, I think. That's a whoopsie. But yeah, these are a lot lighter than I remember them being, but I also haven't worked on that model in so long that, like, I'm just so used to it that it's just kind of there. I don't really think about the colors too in-depth anymore. Oh, I love how I said I was going to work on Fukawa, and then I ended up working on myself because I had so much skin that I needed to color in, and now look at me. I'm trying to, like, draw the dress after I was like, ah, Tsumugi is too blue, I gotta take a break from blue, and lo and behold, here I am. Sailor colors are also a little bit tricky sometimes. So I do struggle a bit with sailor collars, but once you got it, you got it. And the best part about this in particular is that my hair is so crazy on the model that I could just cover up any mistakes with hair. Alright, that's good enough for now. I gotta work on Fukawa again. Did a sloppy job on the hands, but we'll work on that. Right, so she has a long sleeve sailor fuku, so I don't need to color in all of it. Why am I coloring in all of the arm? Giving myself a little bit more work when I don't need to. But just about here should be enough, just so I can get the shape of the arm, work on the outline. Yeah, because the outline for the arms was sloppy because it was foreshortening is not something I'm very good at. I'm gonna need to get more shades of purple for some of the outlines, separate the sleeves from the rest of the torso. Then I'm gonna need a color in the hair, which is gonna be how to do the detail on each individual heart braid. Color in the rest of the neck. White for the fuku. And yeah. Oh wait, I'm just gonna color in the skin. Skin. I can't think of it. It's already it's gonna be 1:30. It's 1:23 a.m. It's gonna be 1:30 in the morning. I should probably eat something, whether or not I go to bed immediately after. Although this is actually the latest I've stayed up in a while. One consequence of being sick is that it makes you either sleep a lot or it keeps you awake a lot, so you get really weird sleeping hours. This is the latest I've stayed up for a while. I've actually been sleeping extremely early for a while now, which is weird for me, but it's also nice being a morning person again too, so it's like I've kind of appreciated the weirdness. But yeah. That's another thing I thought about too. I thought about like streaming like early in the afternoon or like in the morning even. But I think that those hours would be too weird, considering that I mostly stream at night. Especially because it's so quiet at night. And there goes the cat. Hi! You okay? Wanna get on the chair? Good girl. Yeah, I just realized, like, despite you not living here as long, you are already so well trained, Dust. I'm so proud of you. If only TJ could learn from you. Alright, and then I'll have to get another shade of purple to separate the sleeves from one another. This should hopefully work. Hello, cat. And for shortening, it's not my strong suit. What are you doing, cat? Hi. Yeah, I'm drawing. I have the tablet in my lap. I'm sorry, my lap is occupied. You can stay on the armrest of the chair, but that's it. Okay. Yeah, that's a good cat. I'm amazed you're so well behaved. Thank you for being the way that you are, Dust. Alright, so now I'm down a hand because I'm head petting the cat with my left hand and I'm drawing with the right hand. Maybe this is the cat's way to tell me to go to sleep. Which, I mean, I wouldn't object to. I just think it's very cute. It's always nice having a cat to join us on stream. Hold on, the Sailor Fuku is... Okay, so it's... Oh, she's gone. So it's... Yeah, it's pretty... Okay. Because it shows that little tank top section underneath. It's not very deep. It's a little bit on the narrow side. Because like the way I designed my sailor collar was it was meant to be deep because it was meant to show off a little bit of cleavage, but not too much. But then the problem with drawing them at an angle is that, like, how do I make it look good? How do I make it symmetrical? At least when you're drawing it from straight ahead, you can make it look symmetrical and you can make it look decent. When it's from an angle, it's like, oh boy. So I think for my next outfit, I don't know if I'll have a sailor Fuku. And then the scarf, it's from both sides. And she also has a little cuff over here on both hands, so I gotta Get white for the cuff. I gotta color in the sleeves as well. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that line right there. That was my original shoulder outline. Can't believe I've been ignoring it the whole time. I gotta go over that in a different color. Yeah, there we go. It's much better. Okay. Lower the armpit line for a hot second. Add the cuff there. Doesn't gotta be perfect, I just gotta make a cuff before it all turns to sludge. And I gotta color in this cuff because it's hard to see. So I gotta get it white. And I'm gonna try to just make it look as close to her actual top as possible, and I think I'll call it a strip. Yeah, this went on for way longer than intended, but I mean, hey, I'm able to talk, so that's cool, and I haven't coughed in a while. So that's all well and good. That means I'm getting better, finally. At least from the cough. I don't know what the mystery thing is, but I don't know if it'll happen again, but yeah. Alright, it's a good start. Why is this cuff coming out the wrong color? It's like blending a bit too much. The other colors back there for a second. Then there's also a white stripe on the bottom of the top. Alright, I think that's good enough for tonight. Big stretch. Yeah, this was nice. I want to try streaming again this weekend if I can, and if anything, I'll continue with these little attempts at being productive and doing art streams, and doing my little credit doodles and all that. And if not, if I can't stream again this weekend, then I hope I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully with less coughing as well. Oh goodness, what? Okay, all my wires are getting crossed. I tried to put my tablet down and that was dragging down my headphones. It was like, oh, goodness. Alrighty. But yeah, I'm actually proud of how this is turning out. Yeah, a lot of happy art accidents today. But I mean, hey, that's not a bad thing. Alrighty. Alright. Oh goodness. Like, just as I'm like starting to feel confident and better-ish, I gotta start coughing again. So, yeah, fun. Anyway, thank you for coming to watch my crazy little improv art stream. I'm sorry I'm so rambly. It's just a side effect of, like, I've been sick and isolated for so long, and now I can finally talk again. And it's like, oh boy, I can talk to my friends. I can talk to stream. I can talk to myself. I can do stuff. and I can talk about Danganronpa, and this, and that, and everything else in between. Yeah. So yeah. Alright, anyway, hopefully I'll see you guys another time, because I've missed you all, and I've missed streaming, and yeah, I'm sorry I'm so rambly. I should just call it quits for tonight, and drink some water, and maybe get some soup. So, yeah, normally I do an outro. This time, I'm not really gonna do an outro. I think I'm just gonna click the end stream button and call it a night. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very good night, and a very good sleep, and that you're all healthy and strong. And yeah. Good night, everybody.